Of Creators, episode 56. It's April 1st.
April Fools.
Fools.
It's not April Fool's Day. And we got a few things to talk about today. We got tons of superhero shows out, which is so great. It's like superhero season right now, April and May. We got The Boys is in a week. We'll be talking about that soon, but not quite here yet. But we do have Invincible and Daredevil that are currently coming out. Awesome shows. And a few superhero movies on the way. But other than that, DTF's been coming out. Rooster's been coming out. We got the Marvel Maximum collection that came out the last week. There's some PS6 leaks we'll talk about later.
That'll be interesting.
And I think that's the He-Man trailer, Supergirl trailer, all that good stuff. So yeah, buddy. Let's dive in.
Cool.
Legion of Creators.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Bum. So I'm Luke.
I'm Kenna.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Joe. We're here.
And we got lots to talk about, but as usual, why don't we start off? It seems we've made a tradition out of starting off with Marvel.
Yeah.
So it's got the most juice. You know what I mean? Look at Star Wars, DC, all these other things we talk about. Marvel's the one that's got the most content, on a regular basis.
So we have of course we got 2 episodes of Daredevil, and then also I brought there's two other Marvel topics I had as well that we could talk about that I thought were kind of interesting that I told Luke. One involving Bob Odenkirk, and another one involving Absolute Cinema on the intro, guys. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Another one I really liked was about Spiderman Noir. That's kind of interesting.
Okay.
So should we talk about Daredevil first, or should we do the 2 minor topics first?
Let's start with just the news.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we also have you and I also got to talk about Marvel Maximum as well.
Yeah, we'll leave that for a little bit later.
Okay, we can push that later. I thought
what's
it was
about
Marvel.
Bob?
Oh, but yeah, so Bob Odenkirk. So there was this thing that was out in an article. As you guys know, Wonder Man season 2 got renewed. I think it was it, a couple days ago.
Dude, season 1 was real good.
And
Yeah,
and some people were saying that I guess there was conversation that Bob Odenkirk and a bunch of other actors were maybe going to be in that show, and then something didn't happen. And then somebody spun this weird article saying that Bob Odenkirk didn't like Marvel and didn't want to be in Marvel and all this weird stuff, right? And then and then he comes in this article debunking it, saying, "No, I talk to Kevin Feige all the time. Hey, I love the guy. I want to work with him. I think what they're doing is amazing work. If he's got a part for me, I'm in." So I told Luke with this topic, Bob Odenkirk joins Marvel. Who's he playing? Who we got?
I think what I was saying, I think he's gonna he'll be a character that has an established name in Marvel. Something similar to Jane Foster. You know what I mean? Where it's she's a character, but she's not a hero. You know what I mean? Even though she does turn into Lady Thor, let's pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel Bob Odenkirk would fit in very well with a role like that. Or who's that guy in WandaVision and Ant-Man? The Asian guy?
Oh yeah. Jimmy Woo?
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Bob Odenkirk would serve very well as a supporting character.
All I care about, man, because I'm a fan of the Nobody franchise. As long as he just play a hitman, as long as he's dropping bodies, I'm down.
That'd be great.
Right?
Actually, guys, I gotta be right back. Just give me
no worries. So we'll talk about the other one too, since I kind of already discussed the other one with Luke. We're gone. So you guys want to see Bob Odenkirk in Marvel? Is that an actor that you
Yeah, I
guys?
think that'll be
be
interesting. Yeah, I think he
I'm
can
not-
start something good. Yeah.
I was
I'm down
telling
with
Luke.
it.
Luke doesn't like my idea. I was telling Luke I really want the MCU because Luke has a whole thing about Spider-Man. Like he doesn't like how Spider-Man's being treated in the MCU. Which, well, you know, to be fair, there's a lot of issues with that. But
Yeah.
I
Right.
really want. I know they're eventually going to do the Osborns. I really want Norman Osborn to not be Goblin in the MCU because we've had him as Goblin for so long.
Yeah.
I really want them. I feel like Daredevil's setting us up, which we'll talk about later, for Dark Avengers in the future. And I really want, if you read Dark Avengers or even Dark Reign, I would love to see Norman Osborn take the Iron Patriot suit from Iron Man or I guess Rhodey and do the route where he's leading his own team. And if you do that, I would also love to see Norman Osborn kind of in the Insomniac games where he's just like after he had the Goblin stuff, he's still just as crazy and still as much of a problem. So
That
And I
one,
think-
I like that idea. Or
and I think Bob Odenkirk would be a good actor that could pull that kind of role off. Like, I don't know if he would be my number one pick for Norman Osborn.
yeah, I don't
but he
know
would do-
either.
But I would
I
say he
think-
would be good candidate.
I think it would be cool for maybe for the MCU Green Goblin because I feel like as much like it would be different and it would be interesting to see him take the Iron Patriot suit. I still think that
Yeah.
we should, see Green Goblin in a proper
Well-
Spider-Man.
See, I kind of just
take,
want to.
but-
I had my Green Goblin. I'm ready for Hobgoblin. I'm ready to see
Well, yeah,
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
Let
But
me
I
see
was gonna
Hobgoblin.
say, I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
if they went the ultimate Spider-Man route with Green Goblin, they could kind of have him be like he's the Green Goblin, but he's on Peter's side. Maybe at
They
least
could
for
do
the
something different.
beginning
They
of
could
it.
do something different. I wouldn't be against that.
Nerd boss, get out
Yeah,
of here, Dinger.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't be.
yeah, Luke.
I wouldn't be against it. I think that would be interesting.
Mm.
So the other thing I have, Odenkirk wants to be in Marvel. Hopefully he'll get a cool role. Hopefully it'll pay off. And that'll be awesome. The other thing we had is with the as we're right now as of this week these are some really good theories for future MCU projects. Thank you, Brandon. So there's gonna be some really cool stuff with like we're in a weird next week. We're about to hit the banger of superhero and just media TV shows in general. So like it's kind of cool that we got all this news going on, but we also just got a new update on apparently Spider-Man Noir, which is Amazon Prime's next superhero show alongside The Boys and Invincible running right now. Spider-Man Noir apparently from the
All right.
Phil and Chris apparently it's just like Wonder Man, even though the show's not even out, they're saying it's in the conversation of the comedy category for the Emmys. Because they view it as a drama with comedy, similar to how Wonder Man. And I guess Nick Cage is really goofy. So
well, he usually
yeah.
is.
yeah. So which makes
always,
sense
but-
why they picked him for Spider-Man Noir, and it is the same team that did the Spider-Verse movies that is doing Noir. So hopefully that will lead to Noir's success. We really don't know yet. Like the trailers look interesting. I'm not like thinking it's gonna be like greatest comic book show ever, like some people are. I do think it looks interesting. It looks different, but it's interesting they're already having Emmy conversations. They must be confident in what they have on their hands, but we really won't know until we watch it.
Yeah.
But so that was really my only like two topics. Oh wait,
Well,
yeah.
Let me I want
You still
to
just
talk about that goblin stuff. So
Yeah,
I agree with Kenna though. Like
I agree. That's good.
like you can't have Spider-Man without Goblin. That's like having
I
literally
agree, yeah.
Batman without Joker. You know what I mean? Like it is Spider-Man's Joker. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
pretty much.
And like they've never taken it there. Ever.
Yeah, they haven't really done it. Even with Defoe, they really never really made it where it's a Spider-Man and Goblin like crazy story like it could be. Like so,
Right.
I
There's
think you're
like
right.
a
I think we still
story
need to see
where,
more
like,
of that.
I think Harry, I think it's Harry, like impregnates Mary Jane. Like they get fucked up in the comics. Oh yeah, no, it's bad. You know what I mean? Like Goblin goes there. You know what I mean? And MCU is kind of afraid to go there, right? But like, I also agree with you, Joe, in the way that like I'd like to get Goblin, right? Like it's only proper, but I'd also love to see Iron Patriot. Like I think that Drake Bell Spider-Man cartoon. I forget what that one's called, but
Oh, that's Ultimate Spider-Man. That's the one Kenna was talking about.
Okay.
With
yeah.
the big
I
goblin.
was talking
Yeah.
about the comic Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
Point to that.
Oh,
There's
okay,
there's
yeah.
different
Yeah.
Ultimate. Yeah.
There's
Sorry.
multiple Ultimate Spider-Man comics even that aren't.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
it's
there's multiple
I was specifically talking about the 2024 Ultimate Spider-Man comic
Right.
run. To be
Yeah.
more specific. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in that cartoon though, like
Mhm.
season 3 or 4 or something, like
Mhm.
deep in, Norman Osborn decides he wants to be a hero. And he takes on the Iron Patriot suit, and like people still don't trust him at all. I think it's really well done. For a cartoon that's like not, as
Yeah.
critically acclaimed as like, the original Spider-Man cartoon.
Yep. I
right?
just want
Like-
him to take it from Rhodey. I just want to see him take it and just have it cool.
I think the way maybe we could get both of a proper Green Goblin and an Iron Patriot is just like have him be Green Goblin first and make him
Yeah,
do
right.
Green Goblin
can build up
things,
to it.
and then you have like a Green Goblin Rhodey fight, and then that's how he steals the Iron Patriot.
Well, let me ask you this:
Okay.
even since we're talking about the Green Goblin thing, give me a name of an actor that you think that should be the true Green Goblin that you guys want to see.
Willem Dafoe.
No, you can't have him anymore. He's out of the equation.
I'm just kidding.
I need a real name. I need someone that you can play Green Goblin for a long time.
Robert Pattinson.
That-
No.
He's not Batman. Be serious about this.
Yeah.
What? Come on. You just throw out random names. You gotta have some real.
Well, no,
real
they
heavy
were
hitter
both.
names.
They were both in the lighthouse. That's why I made that joke.
That makes
So-
sense. They were in the lighthouse. That makes sense. I like that
Um,
movie though. That's weird.
That's an
That's
amazing
good.
movie. Actually, IGN just put a poll out for like what's Robert Pattinson's best movie, and the only two that had real votes on them, everything else was like 5% and below, was The Lighthouse and The Batman. And
Of
everything
course.
else
Of
people are
course.
like,
Of
and
course.
even Twilight was at like 6%, like funny. But
Yeah,
it's
I'm
IGN.
not
Oh my god,
surprised.
Twilight turned my brain into mush. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Twilight's
so bad.
rough,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, it's rough. Okay, so what do we think? Who you guys got? I got
There's
one,
actual-
and it would be hard because he's older. But if you played him for a little bit and then you had to swap for a little bit, I think it would still work and be worth it.
Mhm.
I would like to see. Well, actually, I think I have two picks for this. I'm gonna throw one because it would be a big get for Marvel if they could convince him. I've been gunning for Matthew McConaughey to take on the role of Green Goblin. Was been one that I've been gunning for.
McConaughey.
Yeah, I've been gunning for it. I don't
think
know.
he's way too
Hmm.
much of a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's
don't know.
I know he is too cool. That's the thing. That's why it'd be cool for him to do something different and be like,
He-
oh man, he's crazy. Like
It would
I-
be. I just don't
yeah.
see him having that range. I've never seen Matthew McConaughey act crazy in anything. And
yeah,
like,
that's true. Maybe
I
he
want
doesn't.
my Goblin to be crazy.
If
You
you
know
want to
what I
go,
mean?
who would be crazy you could do? I'm trying to
I
think.
feel like he
who-
would nail
I think-
Norman.
I'll
say that.
Do you got someone,
He
Chris,
may
who-
be old now, but I would have loved to have seen Bryan Cranston. As,
Bro, if I-
Cranston would have been good. Yeah.
All right, yo, Brandon.
Brandon says Bill Skarsgård would be a good Green Goblin since he's already Pennywise.
No, no, we do not want Bill Skarsgård playing every damn character that's just like the.
Well, what about
Pennywise or the
what about like
Joker
we're looking at
or-
up and coming actors? What about could Austin Butler be like a good could he play a villain on that level? Or do we think
I think
not
Austin
yet,
could
'cause-
be a Norman. Wait,
okay,
no.
not
Or-
sure about Goblin. Okay,
Wait,
yeah,
no.
Norman would be interesting.
What
I'm
about
trying to think
Zendaya?
because it would have to be someone young because you'd have to have
What did
Goblin
you
for a
just
while.
say? What did you
I
just
said
say?
she could be two characters. Come on,
Oh my
they
God.
can't cast her enough. So
Yeah,
no, I'm just,
I
I
was
don't
just trying
know.
to think. I was trying to think because you just have to have someone. You know who I would like to see play Goblin, especially because he can't play this one character forever. I'm gonna throw a wild one out since we're gonna talk about him later. I think the actor that's playing Bullseye right now would probably be a really good Green Goblin because the way that he's been doing like this, his in the earlier season, like in season 3 of the Netflix show, he's very sadistic, and I think that he would play a really good Goblin. I'm not sure about the Norman Osborn part, but I think he could be really good at the Goblin stuff for sure.
I mean, what
'Cause-
if they just like split it? What if it wasn't the same actor as Green Goblin? That'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that would be.
Right.
They could do that.
cool.
What if you
Yeah.
had one actor play the sadistic side, and then you had Norman Osborn be a different actor? Like
Right.
Norman Osborn could be like a, you know what I want? This will never happen, but I would love this because he can only do the Norman Osborn part. I want John Hamm to be Norman Osborn. That would make me happy to have like to just be the businessman and make all the deals and just can you imagine John Hamm in the MCU just walking around and just being like, yeah, I'm Norman Osborn. I'm making deals with Oscorp and I'm doing this. Like that shit would be awesome. And
I
then
do know that Joe Keery has been a popular fan cast for
Harry
Osborn, but
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but I also feel like Joe could be a different character if he were to be in the MCU. I just don't know who exactly yet.
I'm
Like,
not worried
feel
about the
like-
Stranger Things cast. We got Sadie Sink. We
I
got
know.
David Harbour.
Honestly,
We're good.
I think Joe should play an X-Men. I think he could be a really good X-Men. One of the characters.
Who would you have him be, do you think, if he's an X-Men?
I was thinking Joe could be... I mean, he could be Iceman, or he could be...
I could see Iceman, maybe. Iceman would be interesting.
Maybe Angel, maybe, but not really. I'm just throwing that out there.
Do you
know who
see
could've
him more
done
as
Goblin?
Angel?
Who?
But he can't now.
Who?
Nick Cage.
Yeah, that would have
yeah.
been interesting. I would have liked
That
to see
would've
that.
been good.
That would have been cool.
He would have nailed that.
I see. Yeah, that'd be cool.
You
Oh,
see
what
John
about-
Hamm as Norman Osborn?
Wait a minute. I might have just came up with something because he's already associated with Disney. They could do.
What does he look
Couldn't like I've said this for X-Men and seen him as Mr. Sinister, but could Sam Witwer, who does Maul, could he be something like Norman Osborn or Goblin?
I actually think he could be a really good Harry.
Norman-
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you think he's too young? He's too old for Harry, but
Really?
I think he'd be good for
mean,
Norman.
I don't know. My thing is
Yeah,
that I
he
feel
old
like
now, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like when it comes to the MCU, I think I'm just leaning towards more like older takes on the characters, but I also
Yeah.
understand why we need them to be younger. So
Some are younger, but I think Sam's pretty young because he's pretty old now because he's not old.
he's
But
48. Yeah, he
yeah,
can't
he's
play
48. So he would be like a lot of people wanted him for Mr.
old is
Sinister at one point.
But he
because-
looks young though for
Yeah.
48. I don't know.
Yeah,
he could
no.
pull it off.
He was in the Supergirl show as a villain, and he was great. He played a character called Agent Liberty
Actually,
from
the
the
more that I
comics.
look at him, yeah, I think Norman would be really more fitting than Harry.
I
think
just
he'd
don't
be a
think
good
we're ever
Norman.
getting Norman.
If he's
Right,
Norman,
that too. I feel like
Yeah.
if we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get
tough.
Goblin
If we're not-
with
if
Tom
we're not
I
getting
Spiderman,
think
it's
with
gonna
that
be
as
Harry.
well, I feel like
Goblin, that's fine.
people are gonna complain as well if we do get Norman again because but William Dafoe
Yeah,
did such a good
right.
job. No one can match it and top it, and it's like. But sometimes we need a different. I don't mind seeing a different take on it because
we got to
Sure.
see different
You know?
interpretations of
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
I mean, people
I think
are
another
dogging
actor,
on it, but once Secret Wars hits, guys, I guarantee you the next phase of Marvel, you're gonna watch the new X-Men movie, and you're gonna see blah 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 actor as new Iron Man and Captain America. You're gonna
Yeah,
see it. It's gonna happen. People are gonna be pissed about it, but it's coming. That's why Secret Wars is happening. Like when it happens, people will be pissed, but after they'll live with it because they'll get somebody really brilliant to play those characters, and then people will be like,
I
"Oh,
was thinking,
these are different interpretations. They're different from RDJ and Chris Evans, but they're still really cool." So that's awesome. So
yeah. So I think
yeah.
for Norman, I was thinking of who's another guy. I was thinking, I was thinking of Jason Isaacs as well.
he'd be good. He'd be good. I wouldn't mind
I
that.
think he'd be really good. I think.
Who's that?
Remember
The
Severus
guy that you
Snape?
like from your
in
what
Harry
was it
Potter.
called? That show you watched. You met him at the convention.
I met him, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so fucking funny. Holy shit. My bad. Yeah.
You can't remember. You can't remember that
Yes,
you met
sir,
him.
yes, so run away. Yes, sir.
He doesn't know you met him. He doesn't remember that you met him.
Oh, he
He
got,
would
he
be
got
the
evidence.
picture.
He got evidence.
Oh my god. I literally have an autograph from the dude and met him and everything. Oh my god. I'm like, who's Jason Isaac? I gotta go. I shouldn't be on this show anymore.
I gotta go. The
Man.
fact that you don't
Holy
even know.
shit, dude.
That was really good.
Who's
Oh, that was a
Jason
good one.
Isaac?
That was
I'm
a
like,
good
that
one.
sounds familiar. He would fucking kill it. He would fucking he would fucking
I think he
kill
would
it.
do a good job. No, I think he would do a really good job.
He would
Do you think
kill
he
it.
would? Do you think they would approach him? I mean, because
I
Star Wars
hope
shit the
so.
bed on not getting him back for Grand Inquisitor. So if you're gonna have him come into the MCU, that would be a good thing to deal with the Star Wars hate that people
Yeah,
got
and
mad
the thing
about
is
him.
as well, like we've seen him as like a crazy character before.
Where
with,
was
like,
he Grand
Severus
Inquisitor?
Snape.
Well, he was Grand Inquisitor in Rebels. He voiced him in Rebels because he
I'm
has
sorry.
a really good voice for him.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry, Chris. What were you saying?
You're fine.
No, so I was saying like for him, it's like he's already played like a crazy character like Severus Snape and all these, and he's been in other roles where he can go that crazy as well, like with Norman Osborn, the Darks, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you know, I think Jason Isaacs probably could pull it. I think he could really pull it off well.
Do you think he would? Do you think he would work with Marvel? You think he'd be interested in Marvel roles?
I think he'll be open to it. It's just it'll have to benefit him in a way because he just doesn't take on anything exactly.
His benefit will be his massive paycheck. That will be his benefit. It will be, you're in a big Marvel movie. Here's this much money.
I think he could do it. Like, he's got that sinister vibe to him. You know what I mean? Where it's like he can play a very serious role and do it well and be straight, but he could also play that like Malfoy's father, right?
That's the thing that sucks. That's the thing that sucks about the new Harry Potter thing, because it's like he is so good. Like, he was so good as Lucius. I loved him. I loved him.
Definitely.
You know who else he was really good as? And I'm biased on this character. His version of Captain Hook. Oh my god. His version of Captain Hook is so good.
He's just
if you have not watched
actor,
what was it?
No,
Was
it
it
is.
2003? I think it was the 2003 Peter Pan. There's a movie called Peter Pan. It's not made by Disney, and it's so dark, and he cooks as Captain Hook. Like, you would love it. So definitely watch it. I definitely think you should watch it, Luke. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great actor, man. Like, for real. Like, he kills it. And he was really nice. He was really cool to meet, honestly. Like, his
yeah, was he? Was he really that nice?
I remember that.
So nice you couldn't remember. Oh, okay.
You couldn't remember. You remember that he was nice.
He was so nice that I couldn't.
I mean, I have my picture of.
Right,
I have my picture of. Oh, you say Peter Pan 2003 is the best Peter Pan movie? Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
That and Hook. Really I mean,
Hook is classic.
Hook is in my heart. So
Hook's the best.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say Peter Pan 2003 is probably the best, like, accurate adaptation.
Yeah.
But Hook is a really just good movie for of a Peter Pan take. Well, yeah, Once Upon a Time. I used to be really into that show.
What they do with Hook and what they do with Hook and Pan in that show is good too. No, but yeah, I just was using it as an example.
I loved that Hook.
I need to say.
I remember. Oh my god! I remember. How young was I? I was so young when that show was coming out.
You remember I was obsessed with that version of Hook.
I wanted Hook, and what's her name?
Oh
what's the mean girl's name? Emma Swan?
Yeah, they get together.
I know. I was obsessed with those two. Oh my god.
And you actually got your wish because they actually get together.
I know.
They even got married.
But I didn't really finish Once Upon a Time. I fell off. Like,
I believe they married. I believe they got married. I believe that there's.
You continued it. I know that you did, but I got lost.
Like brought Disney things together or something.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Disney fairy tale characters in the real world, and they're all in this modern.
Yeah.
No, that show
that
show's good. Yeah, Fables, but Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So
I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
Because I just like discredited myself earlier here with this Jason Isaacs thing. All right, like never been a big Harry Potter guy. All right, definitely never been a big Peter Pan guy. Because I am Peter Pan. No,
okay,
but I don't need to watch Peter Pan. I am Peter Pan. So, like, really, he didn't stand out. I didn't even know he was in fucking Harry Potter until I went to go meet him. Like, literally, because when they showed Jason Isaacs on Comic-Con, like when you looked on the website and it was like, who's going to be there? Like, they showed the picture from the newest thing he was in, which was White Lotus season 3. And that's how I know him. All right. So like, I don't know a single actor's name in White Lotus besides Aubrey Plaza and Walton Goggins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're standout actors they brought in. And sure, like, so is Jason Isaacs in a way, right? And plenty of other actors, but I just didn't know. Wasn't a Harry Potter guy, blah, blah, blah. So I forgot I'll probably never forget his name again.
No, but I'm glad you brought that up, Chris. Jason Isaacs is a good pick. If they could pull that off, I would love that. I think that would be great.
While we're on Jason Isaacs too, Hogwarts Legacy. A lot of people don't like what I have to say about Hogwarts Legacy. I don't think it's good. Personally, I think it's very disappointing. Yeah. I think it's lacking enemies. I think it is like it's just not creative enough for me personally. Like, there's no Quidditch. There was
Yeah,
a
that was
part
my
when
gripe with it. Yeah. That was
yeah,
my-
right. And
the
there's
first one, yeah.
there's things to enjoy about it,
Mm.
sure, but I feel it's very empty of a game. You know what I mean? Like it's very basic, and I think the sequel will be much better. But
Right.
like my other thing was this bothered me on a detail level, right? I like my little details. So I'm walking around as a student and I go to like I can hear this like magical sound going off, and I'm like, where the fuck is that coming from? Like I need to see what this is. And I go to this like I don't know, like open area right in the school,
Yeah.
like outside, and there's this kid with this giant like top hat above him, and there's like all these magic like things coming out of it, and he's like
Oh, yeah.
he's doing
Mm.
something to it, right? And like
Yeah.
it's making
Yeah.
magic noises.
Yeah.
It's a whole outdoor, and a bunch of kids are gathered around like watching it happen. And like I'm looking for it, I find it, I see them, and it really rubbed me the wrong way because not one of those kids was actually making any noise. They were all
Yeah.
dead quiet while they were cheering. Like the animations were like, yeah, yeah, like a ton of kids being like, yeah, yeah, and not dead quiet. The only noise the game was making was the magic sound from the hat. And like just that, dude, is like, you know, like the immersiveness was ripped out from me in that moment early on playing. And once that happened, I just started seeing the cracks. You know what I mean? And I started being like, this game, dude, is not like that great. And my roommate actually was playing it more than I was, and he started complaining about it even more than I did because he got way further and was like, yeah, no, it's just like these enemies, it's the same thing over and over. There's not enough of them, not enough variety, not enough. Like, I
bad.
really feel that's what that game is lacking is variety, you know,
That's
in
too
a lot of
bad.
ways.
No, I can understand. I mean, I still really like Hogwarts Legacy, but I do get the variety. I think the biggest thing that really annoyed me was the Quidditch part because I was like, damn, so
Right.
no Quidditch. Like, even though this is 100 years prior to the
But-
main story, this is still a part of it. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a return to form in
Yeah.
a way, right? Like we haven't had a real Harry Potter game since the movies
Yeah.
came out. Like this is actually a real Harry Potter game. Even if the first one is just okay, like that's okay with me. Because what do you get out of that? Like a franchise of Harry Potter games that are only going to improve, hopefully.
Yeah,
right?
like hopefully the
Yeah,
sequel
yeah,
is more of what you're asking for. Hopefully the sequel will
Yeah,
have
well-
footage. Hopefully there'll
well-
be a lot more.
Well, I think this is how they're going to do it. I think they said, I think from what I've read up on the recent sequel to Hogwarts Legacy is that there's going to be a so obviously Hogwarts Legacy 2 will be like the main story, hopefully expanding on number 1, and then obviously there's going to be a Hogwarts Legacy online. So then that
Oh,
way
God.
people can really transverse the world and really see it for more deeper than what it is and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just hope if as long as it's like if they can get on like an MMORPG style and it's like this and it's like the similar gameplay to what it was with Hogwarts Legacy,
it could work.
I'm cool. I think that can really
Yeah.
work. You know
Well,
what I mean?
it won't
So-
be necessarily the same, I feel, because MMOs never work that way.
Yeah, never
right?
will. Yeah.
But we'll see. You know, it could still be cool. Like, look at Dune. Dune's got an MMO now. Even like DC Universe Online, like that's been around forever. Anything that's got a popular enough IP has a chance of surviving.
Yeah,
Marvel
they got
Rivals.
some
You know
good
what I
stuff.
mean? Like Star Wars games in general. Battlefront 2 is still kicking somehow. You know what I mean? Like people are just gunning for Battlefront 3. Like if there was a Star Wars MMO, but it fell apart over the years. The mod, that was going to be my question, Retro. He said the mod is amazing. They added enemies for Hogwarts Legacy, and the mod is on consoles. I was going to ask if that was on consoles. Typically, you don't get mods on consoles. That's usually a pretty rare thing. So the only 2 games I can even think of is just learning about Hogwarts Legacy, that, and Skyrim. Actually, there's the 3rd one. Baldur's Gate 3 did add console support for mods, which was cool, but they don't have all the mods that PC does. And I would imagine that it's the same for all those games. You know, I know Skyrim's that way as well, but Hogwarts Legacy, I can't speak for.
Yeah.
I never beat it either. I just fell off. Honestly, it just wasn't for me. I'm not this huge Harry Potter guy. You know what I mean? Like Harry Potter was cool to me when I was in 1st grade. And like it was new and hot,
Right?
And everyone liked it, and we were the same age as Harry Potter and everything, right? Like honestly, I never saw 3 in theaters, and then I saw 4 in theaters, and then I fell off the entire franchise. So that's me in my
That
story.
happens.
Fair enough.
No, but
Yeah.
but so we should move off on Harry Potter because we were talking about Marvel and we did have 2 other Marvel topics.
This is
to
the
talk
Harry
about,
Potter
so-
episode, dude.
No, it's not. I mean, if you want to make that, you good luck with that. You're gonna have to get to some very versed Harry Potter people.
You don't want to do a Harry Potter podcast?
I mean, I'm not against it, but I figured that wasn't your thing.
I'm
so-
against it. I'm against it. I'll make that claim.
Yeah.
What do we should we dive into next? Well,
Daredevil.
So you want to do Daredevil? Or you want to
Daredevil.
do Marvel Maximum first?
What?
maximum
I guess.
after. Let's do Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay,
Daredevil.
got it. So we got 2 episodes of Daredevil. So Daredevil came out, so we all watched it. So if you guys somehow have not seen Daredevil, episode 2 and 3, we are going to dive deep into them. We are going to spoil. So you've been warned. That's your warning. Not seen Daredevil yet? Okay, well then you might want to get out of here, buddy. So
It won't be long. It won't be too long.
Yeah.
You could always message us to Retro on whatever, and we'll let you know if it's over.
yeah, we'll
if
let you know when
talk
it's done. Yeah.
about it. It is a little hard because, like, it just came out last night, so
Yep.
people haven't really had the opportunity to see it. But it's nice that we get to talk about it on the show.
Yep,
so.
exactly. That's why we do. That's why we do what we do. So it's the way it is. So yeah, so we all watched the 2 episodes of Daredevil. So episode 2 came out and it was so basically it kind of follows up from the first episode, but not that much because we didn't see really where the bullseye payoff happens. But we do see some implications of we do pretty much start after because after the attack at Cherry's house, we see Cherry going to the hospital and Daredevil is on top of one of the buildings or forming, doing his thing. Just kind of sitting up there. So
I mean, I feel like we should just talk about both episodes because
yeah, that's what we're doing. We're diving into 2 and then we'll get into 3. So
well, for me they blend. I'm not gonna lie.
okay,
Like
okay.
I
you can blend
I
them.
don't even remember how 2 necessarily ends and goes.
I
into
remember
3.
how it ends.
How's it end?
So it ends. So 2 ends. They have the big fight, and they with the cops, or not the cops, the task force, and they defeat them, and then they capture the one guy that knows where the cops are, and then it ends. No, it ends directly with It ends directly with the stuff that happens with what's her name? Angela's mom gets captured. That's how it ends. Because Angela's mom, the White Tiger, gets captured.
In episode 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the mom. Yeah. The mother. Yeah, she did get
No, not
captured.
yet. Honey.
She
I
got
haven't seen
captured by by the task force because those kids were robbing the store in it.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to rob the store, but
Yep.
didn't work. But,
Yeah.
that's
okay,
why. Yeah,
okay,
so that's
right,
why.
right,
So
right,
it ends
right.
with that. Yeah, and then it ends off with So basically, it ends with a big riot, and then obviously, like I think they found out where Karen and obviously Matt are staying. The glass is breaking, and then they come in, whatever. And then Karen obviously captures one of them.
Yeah, she beats him up and captures him.
And obviously
So
that's
that
one of the
Matt and there
reasons
can use the information, which will lead into episode 3, because we get something from that officer in the next episode that helps us get into the prison. So in episode 2, pretty much, episode 2 was a slower episode. We didn't get action till the very end, but there still is some interesting stuff that happens. Because episode 2, we really dived into the Karen is the new Muse stuff is really starting to sink in. So you're really starting to see like where things are headed here. Yeah. So I believe that was because episode 2 is the one where Bullseye was in the church, and so he was looking for Matt's mom, and they said that Matt's mom is on some retreat in Europe or something.
Yeah, sabbatical.
Sabbatical in Europe. And so I'm guessing that they didn't really explain, but I'm guessing that he was there looking for Matt. because no, he wanted to find Maggie first, then get to Matt, because it seems like he's trying to team up with Matt reluctantly, at least. But we do do that scene when Cherry's in the hospital. We do see that scene of Bullseye killing those guards, right? So Bullseye kills those guards out of the elevator. So that's where that happens with the elevator.
I thought he looked like he was gaining weight in that scene.
You felt like he was?
Yeah, no, it was. I think it was just. This is such a little thing, but like he just like he had one of those. Like that's how he ended his scene after he walked out of that elevator. He like, it reminded me of a dad, like a dad with a dad.
Well, Bullseye
bod
also is
walking away
not a
from the
character
fridge.
that needs to stay in super great shape, considering the fact that all he does is throw things. He never has a scene where he has to get close with someone.
I feel like he's running a lot too, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Running. I don't know. But.
Well, this costume they built is also still only like this is the first proper costume he's had, so they're still gonna make changes to it because he ran around in a Daredevil costume in all of season 3, and then he finally got this suit in season 1, and now they're just gonna keep adding to it. I'm sure eventually we'll get that proper comic book look, but it just depends when they're ready to do it because we know he's got the insignia now, but they haven't changed it completely yet. I do think the blue stuff they got right now is kind of temporary still, and they haven't fully made his proper suit
Yeah,
yet.
I don't really like how it looks that much, honestly. It's all right, but
it's kind of meant to be an homage to the Bullseye version of the Daredevil season 1 thing, where this is your first like proto suit, right? So this is the first version of that. And
I think it's odd to go back to that at this point, though, right? Like, why? Yeah.
Because Bullseye needs an actual suit because right now the interesting thing is like that was kind of Bullseye in season 1. Bullseye was the Hitman, and so that was the closest they had for the Hitman gear, I guess. They haven't committed to his full comic book costume,
right?
Because I don't think even he is
but
committed
they did,
to
right? In season 3, didn't they?
No, he didn't have a suit in season 3.
This is why I'm rewatching Daredevil.
You see, in season 3, so Fisk breaks his spine, and the cliffhanger is that he gets a new. I think it's actually made out of adamantium, if I remember correctly. He gets a new spine because Fisk broke it. And the cliffhanger, when we didn't know we were going to get born again, the cliffhanger was, oh, he's getting healed. Like, that
actually makes more sense than when Batman breaks his spine, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
How do you fix Batman's spine? Oh, I actually never watched Dark Knight Rises, so I never seen the live action version, but I read Nightfall, and like he just be in a wheelchair for a while. He's like, and then he gets better eventually. You know what I mean? Like, it's
no, that was annoying when they.
Yeah,
in Rises it takes a little bit more. Well, in Rises they do it bad. In the comic they do it right. They do it right because in the comic he actually takes time. Like I don't think he.
But like that adamantium thing, I feel like that's a way better way to explain somebody recovering from a spine injury.
Yeah, I wonder why DC didn't think about that, but Marvel did. That's really
they don't have that. That's the thing. Like, what does DC have that anyone's skeleton is made of?
I mean, they have metals, but I don't know if they have anything that strong. You're right.
Metal.
That's true.
With the big comeback recently since the metal event in general, they brought back nymph metal in DC, which is a whole other can of worms, to be honest.
Right. So Bullseye, this is the suit he has. We see him. We also see that the task force is kind of having issues with the actual cops. Like the cops that are meant to protect Cherry, they don't like the task force. So I think that was really interesting. The fact that they're kind of, and then they brought in the guy from last season that Frank and Matt beat up in Matt's apartment, Cole North, the leader of the group. He's fighting desperately to get back with the task force. So
I want to say real quick though, that part you're saying, like the cops that don't really like the task force, right? Like,
yes.
I mean, let's just, rip the Band-Aid off. I don't know if we've ever said it on the show, but like obviously, Kingpin is Trump and the task force is ICE, right?
Yep.
And like that's a great depiction to continue that metaphor or symbolism, right? Of like even cops don't like ICE agents, Even
Yep.
the cops don't like the task force agents. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They're trying to do their job actually, and ICE is coming in here and fucking everything up. Or task force, same thing. It's all the same, and that's what makes this season so good. That's what makes it captivating more than
Yeah.
anything else for me.
I love I love that we're getting that. I think the way that it works. I mean, and so remind me again. Was the trial in episode? Oh, I remember now. So
Trial was episode 3.
So episode 2 is the one where Fisk is boxing training. So that's the one where he's training because he's getting ready for his big fight. Which, by the way, I figured that out. It's gonna be episode 4 now. That fight is gonna happen in episode 4. I figured that out. But yeah. So episode 4. So not episode 4. So episode 2. Sorry. So he's training the boxing, and then we had that. Was episode 2 also the episode where you saw a little bit more of
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
What were you saying about the court case? Let's get to that.
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember the court case. I think that's episode 3. So episode 3 is the court case before, because he goes to court and it goes badly, and then Matt breaks him out later. So,
you're assuming with Swordsman.
Swordsman breaks him out, or Matt breaks Swordsman out. So,
Right. Oh,
yeah.
not assuming. Right, that happens at the end of the episode.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, so I was trying to remember if that was at the end of 2 or if that was the
That's 3.
middle of 3. Okay, so 3, yeah. So we blend them together. So in 2, we had Fisk doing that. We had the Bullseye stuff a little bit in the beginning, and then the rest of the episode kind of it builds up to more of the politics, and then we get to the end of the. Oh yeah, because Daniel, you had the stuff with Daniel and
I like the stuff with Daniel quite a bit. I like where
Yeah.
that storyline is going. I think.
Yep.
We get some scenes with Daniel, and it's like they want to know who is leaking out these Wilson Fisk impersonator like videos, right?
Yeah.
And like Daniel kind of he doesn't we don't know that he actually knows, but it seems like he is very privy to the idea that his friend is the one that's leaking the videos, right? Behind his back.
He's got an idea in it.
And is it it's episode 2 that BB gets revealed, right?
I'm not sure.
Where she's the fake Fisk? Where she's the
I don't
fake
think
Fisk?
BB hasn't been revealed yet.
No,
to
but
be the one.
to the audience, we're revealed to her. We see her without the mask.
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
Yes, we do.
Fisk impersonator?
Do we?
Yeah,
we do.
Right.
we do.
That's right. Sorry,
In
I was
episode, she turns off the
How
camera.
do we know it's her?
Yes.
But they don't know
enough
yet. The
creating
characters
this
don't know yet.
breakdown.
Yes. Yes, we don't we see her, but the rest of the characters don't know. And,
Right.
And I watched the podcast yesterday. The podcast explains that Daniel doesn't want to accept that she could be anything because Daniel's the party boy. He wants to just keep having fun and doing whatever he wants. He doesn't want to get involved in all that.
But he wants to act like he doesn't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And like literally the scene where he's talking to one of these guys that's like overseeing him to make sure he does his job and find out who's making these leaks. Let's find them. Let's bring them to justice, right? And like Daniel, it's so clear he knows because he says like, well, don't you think the video was kind of flattering in a way? You know what I mean? It's like he's trying to like talk down these guys into like it's not that big a deal. Like let's not go after them because he knows that it's probably going to end with his friend dying or getting hurt or something, right? And having rewatched season 1 of the Netflix show recently, I gotta say I really think Daniel is going to be like there's a scene earlier in this season where Fisk and Vanessa like they're talking about having an heir. Right. And like they don't have that. Right. But like Daniel, while he's not a Wesley, like from season 1 of Netflix, like I feel like Kingpin's gonna see himself in Daniel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's that episode in season 1 where his dad, Wilson Fisk's dad, like makes him kick the shit out of that kid. Right. And like then he's beating his wife in front of him and he hits him in the back of the head with the hammer, right? Like, and I think Kingpin's going to do something similar to Daniel. Like when like Vanessa could die. I feel like we're on the verge of Vanessa dying, right? And definitely. Kingpin like going all out crazy. He's going to be like, Daniel. Like I feel they already know potentially, like that Daniel knows who it is. They could even figure out who
If
it
you're
is
gonna
on
do
their
if you're gonna
own.
do Fisk right, you gotta do Fisk right. Where you gotta say Daniel.
But like I feel like you're gonna get in one of these next episodes, like Kingpin and Daniel talking, and him like bringing Daniel somewhere, and he's gonna bring him into a room, and there's gonna be a person with a mask on their head, like a bag on their head.
Yep.
He's gonna take it off, and it's gonna be her best friend, and he's gonna be like, "You need to kill her if you want
Yep.
to keep working for me." Like
Yep.
that's I feel where this is, and Daniel will he's got to take that step in order
Yep.
to actually be evil. You know what I mean?
Because he's gonna be terrified. He's gonna be terrified. He's gonna have to do the one thing he doesn't want to do, but he's gonna be so terrified.
Right. Or
Daniel,
you see Daniel
gotta
turn
kill
sides
BB
because
so
of
you
it.
can go
That's
do the
possible.
thing.
Daniel could change sides because of it. But I do feel like that because he wants to please like Fist so much, he's just gonna like he's gonna do the other thing. He's just gonna do it just because like he knows if he doesn't, he's gonna lose everything.
Right.
This and
he's
that.
afraid.
You know what I mean? He's afraid of all that stuff, isn't it?
And also, even though he's sweet and nice to BB and whatever, because the pressure is getting on him. No offense to any of the him being kind and nice and all those other things. If it benefits him, he's just gonna do whatever benefits him.
Right.
Like he's like eventually he's gonna get to the point of like, oh, you're making problems for me. You're not stopping doing your thing. Well, you know what? Okay, we're just gonna get this done because screw it. Like I'm living the best life. I got the pet house. I'm fine. It doesn't matter.
I love Kingpin being like, Matt Murdock is a hero. You know, like amazing twist, like classic Kingpin move.
5 months ago, Matt Murdock
saved my life. Yeah, it was great. It was really good.
Such a faker, man.
and then you go to Matt Murdock and Karen, and he's like, oh, so now he's got everybody looking out for Daredevil as a vigilante, and now everyone looking for Matt Murdock as a hero. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a great dynamic. You know, I was talking about how season 1 of Born Again was really more court cases and lawyers, and like 2 feels more like Daredevil. Now they're even mixing it up more where it's like, no, like we may not get much Matt Murdock, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But like you're getting both sides of it in a way. It's just he's on the run constantly. The part with the anti-vigilante task force shows up at the end of the episode was really good too. Like just the alarms going off. Like I love the
homage to Batman. I love the scene. My favorite thing in this entire second episode is when Daredevil is fighting in Josie's bar when Josie's about to get taken in by the task force. And so you have the thing so Karen's fighting the weak task force guy. But the other guys go into the bar to pursue Matt, right? And Matt does the sliding and then goes in the room where the training dummy is. And he takes the gun and he like smiles at them and then proceeds to beat the living hell out of them. Which I thought was, oh, that's very Batman. Just like he looks at him like, oh crap.
I feel like that's very Daredevil as well, though. You know,
it is.
Like, Daredevil's got that classic, like he puts that smile on because he's like about to because he enjoys it. You know what I mean? Like he enjoys beating the shit out of people, even though he knows he's doing it for a different reason than they are. Yeah, like that's like season 1 of Netflix really covers that idea.
Yeah,
really.
I agree with that. He does enjoy that. I like that he did that. Like I like that he set that up and then he just starts beating the crap out of them. Like, and it's cool. Like I like that they're doing things with Daredevil in this show. That it's not just Daredevil. Oh, Daredevil's number 1 weapon in the comics is he's a boxer, but he has his billy club, so he's always just hitting people over the head with the billy clubs. I love that they're like, oh yeah, he's a good fighter. He's not always needing a weapon. He might take someone else's weapon, or he might just fight with his hands, like whatever's gonna.
I like that he's not really a boxer, though, right? I mean, his father
he is a boxer. So his father was a boxer,
but
and
if we're talking Netflix and we're talking this show. Right.
If you watch the Netflix show, he still is a boxer. Because if you watch the Netflix show, he owns that gym. He owned that gym, and he trained Elektra in that gym. Like they sparred together, and then got intimate together. So he's been in that gym. At one point, that gym was his base of operations. That was where he wanted to be, and then he would train and he'd go out and kick ass.
I actually started reading, so did you, Joe, 1964 Daredevil, and I never read it ever. So like the only origin of Daredevil I know is really through the Netflix show. And the comic originally, like he starts off in college. and his father
Yeah.
is taking him to a college to like see if it's good for him. And like, I'm over here like, damn, Matt's dad stays alive this long, because in the Netflix show, he dies when he's a kid.
Yeah, he's gone early.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
assumed he had no boxing experience, because I mean, I've only rewatched season 1 so far. So, but
So yeah, he does, like, that's like before he gets any of the actual, because Stick's the one that gives him his first kind of like weapons, and he doesn't do that till later in season 1. So when it comes to like him, he's running out in the street. If you watch like early season 1, like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, he is running around, beating people up, boxing them, and then literally he does like kick combinations too, but he does punch a lot because of the homage that his father was a boxer. So he took up boxing himself.
right.
When Stick trained him to be the ultimate weapon, to be like a ninja, but that's his special like sauce. That's his thing, that in his family, being a boxer means something to him. That's why he has the gym. It's his trademark.
Right. I really, after even just watching season 1, I gotta say I like the Netflix show more than I like the Disney one. But I feel it's just more gritty, more grounded. I don't know. I fucking love Stick. Like, Stick's like, you're a pussy because you won't kill anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel Disney will ever say anything like that in their show.
Nah,
You know what I
they
mean?
can't.
Like, yeah. And on top, like, there's a ton of women empowerment in the Disney show, which there's nothing wrong with, but at times it just feels very Disney-esque. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like you just can't, like, I don't try to compare. I'm just enjoying we're getting more Daredevil. I'm enjoying Daredevil continuing as these characters, considering it almost wasn't this way. I like that the stories are continuing. If you watch the podcast, they talk about how long these actors have played these characters. They're the actress that plays Karen was talking about how literally she's worked with so many different writers and so many different directors that they've evolved her character. They've changed how she has ideas, and she's the only vessel for this character where she can go, okay, this is what I want us to do with this character because this is my character. I'm very protective of Karen. Oh, you can't do this with Karen because I don't approve of it. So she stands her ground and says, this is where I want Karen to go. Like, that's
sure,
a
I
big
feel that.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to throw out random things I'm remembering about the show, to be honest.
Yeah, Luke had a big issue with some of the women empowerment moments. That
I
was
just
his
feel
thing.
like it's been like, I don't know.
I also think it's too. Oh, go ahead, Luke.
It's like Daredevil and Stick in season 1, right? Like, these guys have fucking been doing this shit literally since they were young. You know what I mean? Like, their whole life, it is built into them, and it is stressed that that's who they are as characters. I don't like seeing anyone just picking shit up and all of a sudden, like, they're badass. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, male or female. You know what I mean?
To be fair, Karen was a badass in season 1 of Daredevil. Like, when she's introduced, Karen just didn't know how to fight hand in hand.
I think with
she
Karen,
has been able to
over
shoot
time.
people.
Yeah,
she kills
it's been rough
Wesley
over
in cold
time.
blood. Like, she has always been a strong character.
Sure.
You cannot merge Karen with the other MCU BS characters because Karen came first.
Yeah.
She is an original. She has always been a badass. And the problem is, in season 1, you didn't
Not
get a lot of her
always,
because they were trying to force her out of the show. And now all that they've done is we're facing a threat that's serious enough that she has to get her hands dirty even more because we don't have Foggy anymore. We don't have all the other things. Foggy was protecting her, and it is Matt and Karen in the beginning before they go in by the end of episode 3, before we get all the other characters joining up now. Eventually, you're going to get this revolution moment where all these characters are going to fight Fisk's task force, and it's going to be crazy. But right now, from episode 1, episode 2 to mostly episode 3, until towards the very end, it is Matt and Karen against the world. The world is Fisk owns everything. He's hunting them.
But like, my whole thing is like, even if you've been training for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it just pales in comparison to the rest of the actual characters that kick ass. Do you know what I mean?
Only thing, but the thing is, the one person that she fought was inexperienced, and she distracted him.
I like that. I like that about it. To be honest,
him up, and then And when she gets action in episode, if you watch her, when she gets action in episode in episode 3, which is the more action heavy one, she doesn't throw a single punch. She's literally, I'm gonna shoot this guy. I'm gonna shoot this guy. These guys are armed heavy weapons. She's being smart. She's strategically being
I like
smart.
how, like if she's going to fight somebody, it's not that she can't beat anybody, but like these like people with less experience, like that makes sense. And that's another play on Ice, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like Ice will hire anybody. Just be hateful
just
enough.
to do the job.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. So she dropped in on the guy that had less experience, and then the next episode, when it's really action heavy, when everyone's doing really crazy stuff, all she does is hide and shoot the entire time. Like,
and you got to remember, going back to the Punisher show as well. Like when obviously Frank was obviously on the run, staying undercover like he was. She was also like doing the same thing that she was doing with Matt as well. Like, so
and they say in the episode at some point.
Karen, no, you got Heather, you got the White Tiger girl now.
Heather doesn't do anything that's out of her normal depth.
We'll see.
They're not going to do anything crazy.
The only thing with Heather, I can kind of see them. They're kind of toying with the fact that she could be
she'll be the next
Muse. Yeah,
right.
But my thing is, like, anyone can kill someone. Doesn't mean you have to be an experienced
I'm
fighter.
right there with you. But like that may not be what they do.
Yeah.
I think that's what they will do. I think
but I also think Muse, the original Muse, wasn't that crazy.
It's not like a fighter so much, right?
Right, yeah. So like,
and
I
the only
think
thing
it's
that he came from a fight background, like, so that Muse, the whole thing about his origin was that his parents made him take Taekwondo. So when you watch him fight Daredevil, he's doing Taekwondo kicks to Daredevil.
Right, and that makes sense because that's the original Muse. But if you take that aspect out of it, anyone can be Muse in the sense that anyone can be the killer and like do whatever.
Heather's not gonna go to fighting classes. You're not gonna see Heather training with people.
She's just gonna be crazy. She's gonna go into a psychosis, which I think will be very interesting to see.
That's my other thing. It's just like, and this may be from the comics as well, but it's Harley Quinn.
In the comics, what will probably happen?
I was a therapist, and now I'm crazy. It's a lot like Harley Quinn.
Yes, but it's in a different way because Harley Quinn didn't go through a psychosis. She was just very manipulated. She got manipulated.
I feel like it's a little bit of both, but
a little bit of both. But it was mostly she didn't have visions of the Joker like how Heather is having visions of Muse. It's very like yes, on paper it sounds the same, but I think in execution it's different.
But also when you see the
a little bit.
If you read the comics, Heather as a character in the comics, her end is suicide. Like, she takes her own life in the comics. So I can see what happens. They'll change that.
Maybe they won't. Maybe they will. I don't know. They could do it in a way
I don't see them doing suicide in Disney, but
if she were to become Muse, I think the way that they would do her suicide in more of a not a literal sense, but more of like Heather kills herself, but because now she's Muse or something. Like, I see them going that route.
Yeah, like, I can see something. Well, I think if she's going to be Muse, one, like I said, I don't think you're going to get that kind of, like, you're all worried about her becoming a fighter. I don't even think when she becomes Muse, I don't even think Daredevil will be a part of her story. I think they'll do Muse and she'll be just running around causing problems and doing crimes. And if they got to be really careful how they play her into the story, because right now, we're so locked in and focused on what Fisk is doing as our adversary. So we need to handle Fisk and only Fisk, especially with the vigilantes on the run. Matt doesn't have time to just go and stop random crimes right now. He only cares about what Fisk is doing. Like, so if a burning building is happening right now, fire department will take care of it. Like, it's fine. He's not going to run in there and save people because it's not his mission. Matt is on a path
He's in the middle of an arc.
Yes. And his arc is to literally kill these task force agents and get Fisk and get him bad. He wants to hurt him. He wants him to hurt. That's his enemy. That's his objective. So if Muse comes into the mix and they do another Muse, she'll be used in a very different way. She'll be doing things. It'll almost be like a side story. It'll be like, okay, Muse is just, there's this psychopath kind of running around Muse. Maybe if she makes it past season 2, in season 3, maybe you get some stories where she's running around killing people. And maybe Daredevil spin kicks her and knocks her out and then just lights out. Hey, you're done. Just because they're never going to make her a fighter.
If they're never going to start making her do karate and shit, I'll be right back here to say
But I don't think they'll do that. They can't do that because Heather is so against anything that has to do with not only like the physical activities, but she's so against like anything that resolves anything to do with vigilante thing. So the hypocrite part is with the mask is like she'll just become a psycho. She's just gonna either get so crazy that she'll lose it, or she'll get so crazy she loses it, becomes Muse, runs around, kills a bunch of people with a knife or whatever, and then stab a few people, and then she'll get hers. Like someone will take her out.
I just like I don't want it to sound bad because like legitimately I have nothing wrong with women empowerment. I love stories that represent women well. You know what I mean? But like Daredevil literally like just never really been much of that. Like even going back, like it's not what it was. And for Disney to own it now and be making it, and like I got 4 women that are jumping up and being like heroes almost, or Vanessa not really, but
Heather is not gonna like. There's
nothing wrong with that. I just think I just feel the Disney influence. That's all I'm really trying.
I personally feel like you're feeling the influence, but I think you're reading too much into it because you hear her getting Muse, and I think you go, oh, this is gonna happen, and you're just painting the most mental bad image.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's like where are all the men this season? You know what I mean? Like we got a bunch of women badasses.
That's
you know,
the whole
like,
point. We don't have anybody though. Matt is all we have.
I got nothing. Like it can be well done, and that's great. You know what I mean? It's not really that. Like I've never read a Daredevil run where there's 4 women running around being bad. Like normally it's more like Matt is dating this really beautiful girl. Matt, you know what I mean? Like it feels more like a Disney version of Daredevil. That's all I'm trying to say.
But this is literally they are literally in a war right now. Matt needs soldiers. They set that up at the end of season 1.
Sure.
They need an entire group. We have White Tiger.
That's
she
where
has
I think
the
the
amulet to make
Defenders
her
come in,
train.
personally. But that makes more sense to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like an actual team of actual heroes. You know what I mean? I get like now we're at a point where it's like we got to take anybody we can get, right?
Because the one thing I think personally, even though we're 3 episodes in, I think you are a little bit like because this was meant. These first 3 episodes were meant to build things, and like we still don't have Jessica Jones yet. So I think that personally.
I can get criticized fucking forever for this episode just because I'm saying everything I'm saying. But when Jessica Jones comes in, I'm going to be on the opposite side of the tracks talking about how much I probably like her. You know what I mean? Because that's who Jessica Jones is.
And I think we're still in that
talking about women. Oh, women are badasses. I don't like it. Girl boss. I'm talking about representation of characters.
Yeah,
and I representation of what Daredevil is as in its entirety.
Right. And I understand that if Karen, I understand if Heather went that direction, I would have problems with it too because it doesn't make any sense. But I strongly believe the people, even though there is Disney, it is Disney, and Disney can do all this stuff. I have come to the point that in season 1, there was a lot of problems with season 1. In season 2, they got the guys that want to make the show they want to make, and they were allowed to make that show. And the show that I'm seeing right now, I do not think they're going to do any other than Jessica. I don't think you're going to see any other character just getting in there and getting involved in the action because the other 2 people that are in the middle of this, they have like, even though it's less experience, there is an argument for why. Like if you go back, you might say that it didn't happen all the time. Like Karen didn't run around and be a vigilante, but Karen was in this original show in a situation where she had to be ruthless and she had to actually kill people. She's the reason Wesley is no longer with Fisk. Like it was her or him, and she killed him in cold blood. And other than that one guy that she fought, every other person every time Karen has a gun, and in fact, I don't know if they ever explored this, but in the episode, she knows she's a better marksman. Because in the episode, she says something like, "Oh, you always," even in her in the podcast, she's talking to the actor that plays Daniel. She says, "Yeah, I'm told." Like she makes a basketball joke that I have this 3-point shot or whatever, and insinuating.
I used to play basketball. I love to make 3-point shots.
That's funny. Yeah.
No, that's what Karen says. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was something like that. And so but the other thing, I'm glad Chris brought this up. People are not accounting for the fact that she was with Frank for a long time. She's not always been with Matt. So Frank could have taught her how to shoot even better.
Sure.
when she's in that time with him.
I got nothing against her shooting. It's
Yes.
once people start pulling out martial arts,
The martial arts
they've been
combat.
doing
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
that's
I
when I'm
understand
really
that.
gonna have.
I
And
understand.
I could
But
see
I
it.
can tell you that like the martial arts that she did, that's very basic stuff. Like that, I
Yeah.
was doing that as a white belt. Like what she did, that stuff
Yeah.
is very easy. And
I
it was
feel
an
like though,
inexperienced
even
guy.
if you and
get it.
I train for a couple of years and learn that stuff, we're still not taking ice agents out as grown men compared to a skinny blonde woman.
Yeah, no,
You know
that
what I
makes
mean? But
sense.
like,
The thing is as well, like as long as Karen is just taking out inexperienced people, that's where it all matters.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
right, and
That's all that matters.
I like that. You know what I mean?
with
I
the
don't mean to
whole-
sound like a total hater on everything.
Yeah, no,
I just
I
want
get it.
to be able to have nitpicks. I don't like that if it comes to the subject, like, oh, a woman's in it. Now I have to walk on ice to talk about the women characters
Yeah.
because of all of these stigmas that exist in
Yes,
Hollywood.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, why can't I just talk about the women characters the same way I would talk about the
Yeah.
men characters?
No,
Yeah.
no, I
You
hear
know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying.
Like, that's what bothers
I
me.
feel like with her, it's more of that was an inexperienced guy. He was alone. She figured it makes more sense to take on one guy than to take on 6. And I
Like,
think that she thought,
if they had Foggy doing all this shit that Karen's doing, I'd be bitching just as much. All right.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think that's what their characters are really supposed to be. You know
But
what I
when
mean?
they
And I think it's
introduced
okay to
Yeah.
adapt it for the show to do that, I guess. But I'm still gonna be kind of iffy on it,
I
personally.
think they're bringing Karen at an arc right now because Karen is going to be in a situation where, and I think if you read that run, the Chip Zdarsky run, one thing you should be prepared for is you can expect the point by the end of this season that you're going to see the citizens of New York. They're not going to be doing martial arts and stuff, but you're going to see people with pitchforks against the task force. Like if they do what I think they're going to do, which I think they already hinted at. If I remember from the footage, when all the characters come together against the city goes against Fisk, in the comic panel, you have regular citizens wearing Daredevil masks fighting task force agents
You
coming.
know what else
If
happens in Chip Zdarsky's run?
What's that?
Daredevil dies
I know, but I
And
don't think
goes-
that will happen in this run.
and goes to hell and comes back.
Mhm.
And like, it's very interesting. I kind of just relearned this recently. I
I
haven't
don't know if
read the
they'll do
run
that
since
in
it
this-
came out, but
I don't know if they'll do that in this run. I think he's going to prison. That's still my prevailing
imagine
theory.
he
that
dies
he's going
though,
to-
and they bring him back. That'd be kind of crazy.
They've already done that though, because he technically kind of died in and came back in Defenders, but he wasn't.
Oh, I never watched Defenders.
Yeah. So what happened is in Daredevil season 2, a building drops on him and Elektra. And Elektra dies and then gets resurrected by the Hand. But Matt is Matt is actually healing with his mom in the church for a long time because he was injured so badly to the point that it was nearly basically death.
I'm gonna say this too, just to counterbalance myself a little bit. Like, dude, you know how much hate I heard about Elektra when that season was coming out in season 2? I fucking hate Elektra. This actress is fucking garbage. Blah 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 blah. Like all over the place. I had friends saying it. Everybody, and I was straight up just like, I like Elektra.
Yeah,
What's
I like
awesome-
it.
Yeah, I liked season 2 quite a bit actually.
Yeah, season
from what I
2 was really
remember.
good.
Yeah, people dogged on season 2, but I love that version of Elektra. I'm glad that version is coming back for season 3.
That's
because
my whole thing, man. Is I just don't want to see normies becoming vigilantes as much. I just want to see the actual heroes be heroes, the actual
Right.
villains be
I
villains.
think the problem
what I
is it's the right issue, right? So the issue that we have to accept is if we could have Spider-Man right now, we wouldn't have that issue. But the problem that we have to realize is this threat. Matt is still human. He is trained. He cannot take out the entire task force by himself. We saw it in episode 1 when they snuck up on him, when he saw the heartbeat. And even in episode 2, I noticed that even though he's a skilled fighter, he still sometimes struggles against the task force. These guys are still
right.
very well trained.
That's
And
kind
very
of the point
ruthless.
that I'm trying to make. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Daredevil is struggling with the task force, if you and I tried to take on an ICE agent, it probably wouldn't go well. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have batons and tasers and armor on them and everything, right? Like it's just hard for me to watch any frail character. All right, like all of a sudden is like a badass taking on a task force, like. And sure, there was a weak person. I got you. I'm going in circles at this point. So
yeah, I feel like it's just the weak person, because every other time when they had a major threat, when it was Daredevil that busted in the prison and he worked with someone that was skilled and capable to get out of that prison. Karen didn't jump in there and start. Karen didn't jump in there and start beating the crap out of people with sidekicks and like crazy power spin kicks like Daredevil does. She beat one guy up with a 3-hit combo, and then everybody else is, I'm gonna hide behind this car, I'm gonna shoot them. And she does that. And she's the distraction for that scenario, because when they're escaping, that beautiful fight scene, which was amazingly choreographed, was Daredevil was Daredevil and Swordsman beating the crap out of people. And those two make sense, because Swordsman was a vigilante that was meant to wield a sword, and he's killing the crap out of these dudes with the batons, and it's awesome. I personally I'm gonna be really sad if that's all we get of him, because I loved him in Hawkeye, and I really hope we get more of him towards the back end.
I think we will. But episode 3 was peak Daredevil. Man,
he loved it, man. He loved it.
I just can't agree. I think it was good.
I think towards the end, it got like, I thought like, okay, now we're gonna start getting more.
Right. In comparison, though, going forward, like, let's imagine the full season was out. You aren't going to be saying the episode 3 was peak by the end of the season. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be a builder, if anything.
I feel like this season started off a lot better than last season. I feel like.
I think this season is overall better than last season. Yeah. Right.
Oh, it is.
I mean? I think it's been.
I think episode 4 is going to be very bullseye focused, and then I think 5, 6, 7, and 8 are going to be foot on the gas. We're at war, basically.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're going to get peak Daredevil at the end of this season, when it's like the Defenders are coming in, the task force full force. Wilson Fisk is losing it. Daredevil's on the verge of like he doesn't know what to do. Like I think you're.
Well, I think Fisk is going to lose it. I think Fisk is going to lose it next episode. I think next episode, the two big things that are going to happen is Vanessa's going to die next episode, and I told Luke this. My theory is. No, there's no maybe. I already heard that you guys probably don't know about this, but they already kind of did the Pedro Pascal thing. Where they, remember when Last of Us season 2 came out and they said, "Oh, this actor's not going to be in this anymore," right?
Right.
They let loose that this is her last season, and now hearing about I read an article today that says episode 4 is from the screeners is Bullseye's mission. What's Bullseye's mission?
All right.
To kill Vanessa.
Or take out the task force. I mean, that could
no, it's to kill Vanessa, because it started in season 1.
Yeah, we aren't going to get that done yet.
Yeah, no. The task force, that's a finale thing.
Yeah,
that's a Daredevil, Jessica Jones, White Tiger,
Defenders,
maybe Luke Cage, if anything, teams up and takes them out.
I want to say, though, Chosen said you can tell the writers had a better vision this season than they did with season 1. I don't know if it's necessarily a better vision as much as there isn't visions colliding, because you had the Netflix writers and then you had the Disney writers, right? And I would imagine both of those teams had different visions, and they had to try to figure out what they were going to do to make it all work.
And the crazy thing
right?
is the Disney writers were the ones that did season 1, but you're getting the Netflix writers doing season 2, because the Netflix writers. Yeah. So the guy
that's why 2 is better. I still made all the Disney-esque remarks, though.
Yeah,
but it's
but that's why I'm very confident that we're in pretty safe hands, is because of the fact that you have the guy that did Punisher is the showrunner, and then you have the 2 guys that did Moon Knight, which is Disney Plus, not Netflix. They directed episode 1. I want to say 2 and 3. If I remember correctly. It might just be 2 and 3 and 1, but I know they directed a few of them. And
I can't speak on Moon Knight because I did not watch past like the first or second episode.
Well, Kenna really liked it. Kenna loves Moon Knight.
Right.
We need,
I just constantly hear shit about Moon Knight because And I mean, again, I don't have any. I'd have to watch it for myself to actually have a real
Yeah,
opinion.
I like Moon Knight as
You
a
know what I
character,
mean?
but I need to properly sit down and watch.
But these-
I understand that the Moon Knight show is not entirely comic accurate to how
Right.
he is, but I still think
You can still
even
enjoy
with
it,
that, it's still a really good show.
right?
And I
Yeah,
And
really
it's
liked it
Oscar
because it
Isaac.
was refreshing. Yeah, and Oscar Isaac is a great actor, and I
I
just
was
thought it was very
mad. I
refreshing.
was so mad. I got duped today. I was watching a video today, and somebody dropped news saying that Oscar Isaac signed a deal with Disney, and I forgot what day it
That's
was.
fake.
And I was like, Moon Knight season 2, let's go. And
No.
then I looked at the day, and I'm like, gosh, dang it, really?
I do still think the show definitely has its flaws, not just with the whole comic inaccuracy. Like there's just some like little nitpicks here and there of how they write the story, but I still think
Yeah.
like how everybody loved WandaVision because it was like a new genre of Marvel.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
really what I think Moon Knight also does very well. Like it's a psychedelic, trippy kind of, Marvel show.
I mean, I think
Right.
that other than Wonder Man, I think besides but besides like even with season 2 being kind of mediocre, I will say like of these first 3 episodes of Daredevil, this is probably Marvel's best Disney Plus show next to Wonder Man because they literally they're actually making a coherent vision now, and you're doing good storytelling and really like
You
I'm
really
like,
think it's better than Wonder Man? Wonder Man was like the best one.
I said those 2 are close for me. I gotta
All
see
right.
the end of the season.
No, I've been joking with you, bro.
No, I know. I know
'cause-
you haven't seen Wonder Man.
Right,
I
that's
know the
what I
truth.
gotta reveal
I-
to the podcast right now.
I know
is
the
I've been
truth.
joking around for months saying I watched Wonder Man and it's so great, and I haven't even
Liar.
haven't even watched the first episode. So yeah,
That's what I'm hoping is gonna happen, shows, and that's my theory is that bro, imagine Fisk has his boxing fight and suddenly Bullseye just kills Vanessa. That would be insane.
that's
You wanna know something
exactly
crazy?
what Joe predicted.
You wanna know something crazy, Chosen? I don't know if they meant for it to be out there. There was a picture that came out a couple days ago, and it was in the boxing ring, and the task force, for whatever reason, are holding Fisk like he has to flee from the scene. And I have a feeling that's exactly what happens because he was literally in this like little, I forget where it came from, but someone put it out, and it was a GIF on Twitter, and it was literally he was there in the ring. He must have won the fight because he was lifting his glove up like he won the fight, and then he had like a coat around him, like he had all bloodied up and stuff, and then the guard, his own guys were like holding him like, whoa, stay back, like just like they were like
calm down.
Yeah, he was freaking out, and I think that's because Vanessa died. Because
Like he literally kills the opponent.
like I can just
Yeah,
imagine.
I can
like,
see that happening for sure.
like even though like even in the episode, even in the last episode, they kind of seem like that Vanessa is haunted by Bullseye. I just don't think that she is gonna get that close to him because I don't think she's gonna. She's all like, oh, I have a gun. I'm gonna plan for him to know where he is. But Bullseye is never.
But it's Vanessa. That's my thing. Is like this is where I'll go against everything I was saying about all the other female characters, right? Where Vanessa is this character, though,
right?
You know what I mean? Like she is conniving. She is smarter than Kingpin. She pays attention to everything. It's even like literally in these 2 episodes we get that. You know what I mean? Where it's like she's looking at guns. She's waking up in the middle of the night. The guy she's looking at guns with, she's like, "Have you ever actually been close up and personal with Poindexter?" And he's like, "No, ma'am." And she's like, "Well, I have." You know, like I feel like they're literally building it. Like Vanessa's not gonna beat Bullseye, but I think she's gonna be aware. She's gonna do something. She's gonna have something up her sleeve.
Well, see, I just feel like Bullseye was not going to make it that easy, and I feel like what's going to happen is that she's going to be so focused on wanting, because this is a big deal for Fisk to be in this boxing fight. Like, when do you ever hear about a mayor taking a boxing fight of a town against like this guy? Like,
I kind of would love like the U.S. agent, Captain America. What was it, Falcon and Winter Soldier show, when he like beheads the guy or just like rams the shield.
It's gonna be brutal. I don't know what they're gonna do yet. It's gonna be brutal how he beats him. Because obviously Fisk is not like a pro boxer. Like he trained for this fight. He's clearly doing it. Whatever. And so he had experience in the comics. Like I think in the comics he knows. He's so scared of Daredevil in the comics. He takes up judo and boxing because Daredevil knows so much, and so he's scared.
I mean,
So
in
he
the comic,
literally,
he's really strong, like a lot
yeah,
stronger than he is in this show. You know what I mean? Where he
Oh
can,
Yeah.
I think they did
100%.
do it in the show
Yeah.
too, where he broke a wall with his own
Yep.
fists,
Yeah,
right?
Well,
Like, that's
he's
the
gotten
type of
more
shit.
enhanced.
Powerful, man.
They enhanced him, and even though in the Daredevil show he's not as powerful as often, he was enhanced in Hawkeye. In Hawkeye, they enhanced him, and he's like very strong. But then my issue with that show was somehow Kate Bishop took him out, and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
word.
how did that
Man,
happen?
that was.
There's
I didn't
no
watch
way.
Hawkeye
That's
past like
the
I
one
did.
I will.
The thing
That's,
is, it was a decent show, but the way they took out Fisk was just like, yeah.
that was the thing
just,
that I'm like,
it
yeah,
was just
that's
not,
where I'm gonna
it's
throw my
not
hands up at that
necessary.
show. I don't
That
know
was
who made that
unnecessary.
show, but I was gonna throw my hands up on that show because
Yeah, I've
I
heard.
love Haley Steinfeld, but I'm sorry, an arrow is not stopping Fisk. That is not happening. I don't care what kind of trick arrow you got. That is not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's kind of weak.
Yeah.
Especially because like Kingpin is such a Spider-Man and Daredevil villain, not Hawkeye. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It makes no sense for him to be there.
Oh,
Right.
that's good. That's good to hear, Chosen. I hope so. I want him to get a proper costume because I saw concept art for his costume, and I would love to see it.
So why don't we do some final wraps on Daredevil? We
Yeah.
spent
So
a
final
lot of-
wrap. So I'm loving Daredevil. I will not go as far to say it's the best show that's out there yet because I do think that there could be other shows that are really good. Like I'm watching, like even though I haven't seen the current season, I'm loving what now that I'm starting to get on the Invincible train and watch Invincible. I do love what I've seen of Invincible. I can't wait to watch more. But of current shows that I have seen so far, I haven't seen anything that I like more than Daredevil. But that's because I haven't seen the other competition that much. So
right.
that's why my ticket. Oh yeah, I'll take it, honey. Thank you.
So
I needed one.
Chris, kind of, why don't you just give us your final thoughts on Daredevil?
Yeah, so I think right now I'm liking the pacing of it. I
Yep.
like the direction it's going. I like how episode 3 ended with like the whole ship sinking with all the people that died on it. And I said,
That was
okay,
awesome.
so now it's created more of an impact towards what they're doing because obviously as much as Karen and Matt they have their code, Fist
Yep.
doesn't, and he's just doing right now he's in Collateral. So
Yeah.
if Vanessa truly does go this season, which we know that's gonna happen at some point,
right?
That's gonna be the whole thing that causes collateral damage in a lot of places. We're gonna see. I think we might even see a couple buildings blow up if I'm being.
Oh,
honest,
they're
in
gonna
space.
push that. They're gonna push that.
They're gonna push
envelope.
for that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so far so good. The season's been really good.
Yeah, there's gonna be some collateral damage. I'm loving where the story's going. The one final thing I'll say before Kenna gives her thoughts, was I wasn't expecting this because he was only like in a little bit of season 1, and I wasn't expecting because he was really good in Hawkeye, but we only got small spurts of him. I think I actually in both episodes we get more of him. We got a little bit of him episode 1. I was surprised these 2 episodes. My one takeaway is I think I like the swordsman as a character in this season of this show, of the episodes he's in, more than I like Daredevil right now. As a fan of Daredevil, I love if there's a standout in these new 2 episodes, specifically in episode 3, I'm giving it to the swordsman because I love the fact that he is just this guy that was wrongly accused and just like fit and he was gonna expose Fisk. Like I love it when he's talking in the court and he's like, yeah, I love it. I just think he's great. I love and the actor, brilliant actor. I love him. I think he's great.
Where are you at, Kenna?
I think it's pretty good so far. I don't know. It's really only 3 episodes in, so I'm just not
we gotta wait.
super crazy about it. So I'm just excited for more. I'm excited to see. I really hope the Daniel thing, the air thing comes true, and overall excited to see Jessica Jones come back. I would say those 2 are my biggest highlights.
Hell yeah, I agree.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, I want to see where it goes. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's hard sometimes to judge a show when you're only a few episodes in. You know, like you don't have the full story. It's kind of like when Dune Part 1 came out, right?
Yeah.
And like it ended and everybody was like, oh well, yeah, it was good. Like it didn't have an ending. You know what I mean? Like I feel that way a lot when we're going through shows. You know, it's like that's why I try to give a lot more credit to shows that I feel every episode feels like something really good. You know, like I really like The Boys season 1 does that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like even The Last of Us season 1, like every episode's got its own story going on that also feeds into the overall story being told. You know, rather than like what Daredevil's kind of doing, where it's more we're building up to the overall story through the episodes. You know, like sure we'll get some stuff here and there, and that's good. And like there's not that episodes are boring or anything, but like it just is feeding into an overall story. Like after The Boys season 1, I feel that's how the rest of the seasons kind of treat the show. You know, where it's like we're building up to something, we're building up the finale, we're building up to the end of the show. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of build up compared to
I think,
I don't know, meat.
I see
of
that.
every
I think
episode.
narratively, what you're getting here is this is a story that is like it built from the finale, and it is one of those shows in that story where the pacing is we're building to this big thing, and I think that it's gonna take a little bit to get off the ground, but I think after episode 4, once 5 hits, and I don't know what 5 will be about yet, but I think from 5 and up, everything is just gonna be crazy. Like
I think so too.
Once next episode is gonna be the determiner for the season, because I think once the Vanessa stuff happens, once Vanessa's out of the picture, I think that the show is gonna really cook steam, because I think that once that stuff happens, like when Bullseye kills Vanessa, it's gonna change a lot of things.
Let's talk Marvel Maximum.
Yeah, Marvel Maximum. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first, Joe.
Okay, so we played Marvel Maximum this week, and yeah, classic retro arcade games. I know we even played with Jake, who's in the chat here. We played X-Men the first night it came out. It was pretty awesome. I was playing
first night we all got it.
I was playing Cyclops, and I was able to do freaking round kicks and like and like freaking like flying knees, and like I wasn't just using the beams. I could like actually fight in close quarters like X-Men 97. And I'm telling you, Marvel, if Cyclops ain't moving like that in Doomsday, we got a problem. but like honestly, like I love it. There's so many different games, and it's cool to go back to these retro favorite games. Like I remember being at the arcade, playing the arcade games, having fun, and like now you're doing it on a console. And the downside to the Maximum Collection is, unfortunately, not everything is online co-op, which is kind of sad.
In fact, only the X-Men arcade game is the only one with online.
Which sucks. Which sucks. You got that you want to play your buddies, and that's the only thing. That's the biggest thing I put into the score that's a downgrade.
I got disappointed in that way. Like I really thought it was going to be like I saw multiplayer. I thought all the games were going to be multiplayer. I didn't look into it enough, you know. And
I was hoping for them. I was hoping for that for sure.
One more game that is multiplayer. It's a 2-player. It's Separation Anxiety, Spider-Man and Venom. But it's not online. It's only couch co-op. Yeah. So, like, it's just like I just wanted more multiplayer out of it. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it though.
I'm like, I gotta play more. From what I played, I enjoyed a few of the games. I played the X-Men, one that I played with Luke and Jake, and I also played the Avengers one, where the Avengers are taking off classic villains. Like we went against Whirlwind, Grim Reaper.
I think you mean the Captain America one, because there isn't an Avengers on there.
It was Captain America and the Avengers. It was called.
Or Spider-Man and the Avengers, I think.
No,
that's the Spider-Man and the X-Men. That's Arcade's Revenge.
No, so there was some
Captain America and the Avengers, I think.
Yeah, it was Captain America and the Avengers. So it's just because when I played it, Becca was playing as Cap and I played as Hawkeye. So
that's 2-player too. That's good.
Yeah, so that one's 2-player. So that was fun.
It's weird because some of the games, like, so when you look it up, it'll be like, 13 games, but it's actually 6. But it's not actually 6 either, because like certain games have like the mega version and the super version from different consoles it came out on, but they're really the same game with different graphics, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the Captain America games, which are literally different games depending on the version you're playing. Like, I'm trophy hunting this game. I want to platinum Maximum. I decided. I already got all the trophies in Maximum Carnage, and I already got them all in Silver Surfer. I almost have them all in the normal X-Men game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I only have a few to go.
Yeah, that's the thing I haven't done yet. I haven't done the Silver Surfer thing, so I need to do that at
Silver
some
Surfer
point.
is hard. Like, it's one of those not like Contra. Like, you know, those games where you're a plane at the bottom of the screen and you have to shoot all the things on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those, but then it also goes side scroller with it. It's a shooter, it's not a fighter. And it's only one like that on the collection. I think it's really fun. It's really retro. It's cool. It's something to play in the meantime. You know, it's not like blow your mind. It's just a fun throwback. So
Yeah, that's good.
It was just cool.
What should we talk about next?
What's our next thing?
Probably Invincible.
Invincible.
We're talking about Invincible. You want to talk about the new episode first, and then I'll talk about my review for season 1, or what?
Actually, Chris hasn't seen the new one, so I'm gonna keep it spoiler free. But I do want to talk about the one before that, episode 4, with Chris, because you have seen that.
I'm gonna go to the restroom right now, not because I want to not get spoiled, but I think I will anyway. I'm gonna go to the restroom. You guys talk about the new episode, and that way I can keep myself spoiler free as well. So
episode 4 is about Mark going to hell, basically, right? And man, is there a lot of hate on this episode?
Because it's in hell.
Oh, it's just because it, like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was that good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I felt like I'm sitting there watching. It's like there was some good moments in the episode, but I just felt like this is basically filler. You can tell, basically.
Kinda, yeah. I feel like it might feed into something bigger, but because it ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
With the guy, with what's his name? That makes sense. Yeah,
and that demon detective or whatever.
So that they could play into something like that. Could play into the main story, which I think that would be cool.
Yeah, and it probably will, like, because he's saying he has to feel the scorch of the Earth's sun one last time. Yeah, but so the cool things about this episode, I feel like there's a lot of what feels like meaningless fight scenes because we don't know a lot of these characters. They're like being just introduced to us, and it's like, fight all these hell demons and
all this and that. Yeah,
it just doesn't hit the way I feel like it was intended to. But you got a few things, right? You got Bruce Campbell's in this episode, actually, from The Evil Dead. He voices Satan. It actually took me like a little while.
It took a minute, innit?
Yeah, to be like, oh fuck, that's Bruce Campbell, which I really didn't like Satan's voice until I realized it was Bruce Campbell. And then I was like, oh, it's Bruce Campbell, so it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, and you also get a Metallica song, which is I think a standout. Like, you don't get Metallica in most of anything, right?
No, for real.
So like they give us which one was it? I can't remember actually. It's like on the top of my head, but anyways, like it was a badass moment, but like I feel like it's just not enough attachment for the viewer to feel the true like momentum of the fight. You know what I mean? Like we don't have anything invested in any of these characters.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Because when you look back at 1 to 3, we're getting all this stuff with the story, everything that's going well, and then we're like, oh yeah, like now we can't wait for episode 4 because now we know what this is going on. Now that we know that obviously his dad, Mark's dad, and obviously they're coming back to obviously to help with the Viltrumite war. But then you get to episode 4 now, and it's just like, okay, this is completely gone wayward now because like Mark was already doing something like a smaller crime. And then he gets transported randomly to hell. And it's like, oh yeah, your dad would have just punched things and all this and that. And it's like, yeah, but we don't really know the backstory on that too much either. So it's like,
right. There's one scene I really like in this episode, though.
Yeah,
where it's about like what this season is tackling, which is morality of killing somebody as a superhero, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of shows discuss this topic, but Invincible is the only one approaching it the way it is, I feel. Right, where not only is Mark extremely like heavy burdened by the idea of actually killing, you know what I mean? Like you see that with other characters, but you don't normally ever see them actually kill somebody, like decide to kill somebody, right?
You'll see them like close,
right? Exactly, or feel the guilt or want to or this, you know what I mean? Like, but this is like, no, Mark killed somebody. And he's feeling the guilt about it. He almost kills another person.
Yeah,
he's questioning everything he's doing. You know what I mean? Like that's the theme of kind of what's going on with Mark right now. And like this episode the part with Demon Detective and him, and they're talking like he's telling him that what he's doing isn't really bad. And like this is a guy coming from hell and saying hell is real, you know what I mean? But like heaven isn't, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like it's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah,
Like what are you going to do? If you didn't do that, many more would have died. What is really the right thing to do?
Yeah.
And like I saw a comment on a website about Invincible, somebody reading it and saying like this, like the comic changed their whole perspective on morality, right? And I think this show, I really like what it's doing with that, where it's like maybe it is the right thing to kill them. You know what I mean? When they're that evil, when they're that bad, when they're just gonna keep coming back, like what else am I gonna do?
Yeah,
you know,
what
like
option did he have? That's the thing. Yeah, he didn't have. I feel. Yeah, he didn't have much of an option to do anything because by the time they got rid of all the civilians and stuff like that to safety, at that point it's like okay, well, another swarm's gonna come, it's gonna take over. So at that point, yeah, it's like, what do you do? Do you just let it happen, or do you just get rid of the problem and stuff like that? You know, and I was surprised that Cecil, because he was really like, Mark, you shouldn't have really. But I'm thinking, but you have pushed him for like how many seasons to do certain things, and now you're saying like, oh, you don't want him to do this one thing now.
But it's that line though. That's the line, is murder, right?
Yeah.
And he crossed it, and Cecil even understands that, and he's like, Mark, you need a break, you know? And you know, Mark doesn't give a shit. He's going to do whatever he wants. And like it almost took like Demon Detective and this whole hell situation that he can't even escape from. They summoned him there, and he's like, what the hell is going on? Right?
For real.
And they're like, well, you need to help us or the world's going to end. And he's like, God damn it, I don't want to do any of this.
Again, innit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And he kind of comes out of it with a new perspective of like, maybe I'm not doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And I like that a lot out of that episode. Now, the end of the episode leaves on a cliffhanger. We finally see Omni-Man come back to Earth.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For the first time since season 1.
Yeah, finally.
Chris, I got to talk about episode 5 just a little bit. I won't.
Go for it. I've seen like the first 5 minutes. Hold on.
Okay.
I've seen like the first like 5 minutes of it, so yeah,
we get like it is just satisfying, man. Like we finally get like Omni-Man on Earth. He finally confronts all these people that he left behind. Like it's awkward, it's well done, it's like realistic in that way. And like not only do you get that, but like other tie-ins of emotional closure, it feels like, before you have these characters go off to war and like have to do this Viltrumite war. And then when you actually get to those parts, we actually got a new character introduced, I think, too.
Okay, cool.
And unless she was like slightly in it before, I don't remember. I guess I'm not an Invincible expert, but like you send all these people out to space, they go to war, right? And then you get the fight scenes with the Viltrumites, like, and they are brutal. Like they are so good. Not only did the episode like make me shed a tear, but it also made me be like, fuck, like Mark, fucking get him, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really got me going. Like I think Invincible takes these themes on and like really does them a lot better than a lot of superhero content. Like,
yeah, I feel you on that.
It grabs me, man, and it's animated. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even live action with all the bells and whistles of CGI and this and that. It's like people even make fun of it for like its animation not being the best, right? But like, it truly grabs me as a story more than a lot of what is coming out. You know, like, dude, I'm thinking right now, like, it's kind of my favorite superhero thing. Like.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's so good. Like it's Spider-Man with Superman put together. That's who Invincible basically is.
Yeah.
You know, and you just get so much, like, especially when it comes, like, everything ties in. It's so well written in that way.
Exactly.
Where, like, okay, Mark's not killing people, right? Well, he hasn't been killing people this whole time, and now all these villains are coming back at the same time. You know, like you have the rock guy and the techno guy, right? like
Yeah.
teaming up with the old man that turns into a dragon. You're getting that underground criminal aspect back, and that's just one group. You got the multiversal guy out that was around, right? You got the Viltrumites. You got random villains that are popping up, like the dinosaur guy that he decides not to kill in the first episode, right?
Now we see it. We see it.
Like,
Everything's coming.
there's so much going on with different characters. It feels more like what superheroes are in the comics than what these superheroes are in live action and animation typically.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it actually, New York in Marvel should be all these characters colliding at points. Maybe not all the time, but it should feel that way at points. And like, Marvel has not done that with Spider-Man. They brought Iron Man.
They could extend.
I mean, the problem with that is the whole issue is it's great that you're enjoying something different, but like the whole problem with that situation is all this falls on Sony needs to lose their rights. To be honest, I'm gonna say something kind of wild. I think people might
gonna let go.
and I think people don't want this to happen, but I'm gonna say this anyway. I want, and I know people are gonna think this is crazy because I know everyone's waiting for this movie. I wish that either Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse is not good, or I wish that that Noir is not good, because I want them to feel some crippling pressure. They need to let go, because
they're not gonna. They would be letting a cash cow go. The only way that you sell Spider-Man is an extreme amount of money that Marvel is not going to want to put out.
They've had a lot of big losses though. So if they lose another really big loss, I think they'd have to give up. If it was big enough, I think they would have to give it up.
They're about to have potentially another big win. So that's the thing about, right?
We don't know if it's potentially though. We don't know if it wins
know.
yet. Because what if all the animators was treated poorly and said fuck it and fucked it up and went, hey, you know what? Sorry, this sucks.
I don't see this Spider-Man movie doing badly. Even if like we sit here and we're like, oh, it's not what we wanted. You know what I mean? Like, it's still a Spider-Man movie coming out in the summer with tons of cameos.
Hey, we're talking about Brand New Day. I'm putting that cap on the MCU people because Sony had to negotiate with Marvel to allow to get all the good stuff done. Like, Marvel had to literally give them the things to make it better. So if anybody's getting credit for this new MCU movie or this new Spider-Man, like, sort of MCU, but combined with everything, it's going to be Dustin Daniel Crenton, who is on a fire track record right now with Shang-Chi, which I just rewatched recently, is amazing. Wonder Man, bam. And now he's hitting it off of Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I think that's the thing is, like, with that one, I think it's just, I want to see Spider-Man with all these heroes as bad as everyone else. We just got to get something worked out with Sony. Either they need to fall so bad that they give it up, or they need to start really being a lot more cooperative. And they need to allow it. Because I kind of think, as crazy as it is, I kind of think if they weren't, like, doing all this stuff with Spider-Man Brand New Day and all the, like, other background Sony projects, if we can get Sony to just accept as, like, if it becomes collaborators, okay, we're not doing, because I heard this Spider-Man Noir thing, other than the Spider-Verse stuff, is the last solo Sony thing ever gets to do with Spider-Man. Like, after this, they've said, even if this shows a success, maybe we get a Noir season 2, but that doesn't have to do with our Peter Parker or our Spider-Man. So, yeah, I think you could bring Tom into, like, a Daredevil season 3 or whatever you want to do storyline, maybe even make a movie where they're all together for some street level story. Like, I think really it just depends. They realize they fucked up. Like, after, I haven't even seen Kraven, but after Kraven, I heard that whole Sony thing got shut down.
Oh, yeah. I feel like Sony is the whole reason that we're being held back from actual Spider-Man and why Spider-Man is just, like, not.
Like, I'm telling you, bro, if we did not have this Sony problem right now, Tom Holland would be sitting there next to Daredevil and Swordsman in that prison.
Probably.
Like, they
show
would
up
be,
at some point, you know?
Yeah, or show up for the finale, something like that. I guarantee you it would have happened.
Or it would have been him instead of Bullseye. And that would have been
it would have been Spider-Man and Daredevil because they're in New York.
What do you think? What do you think, Kenna, about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, like what specifically? Brand New Day, or just in general, or Spider-Verse?
Just yeah, with the whole everything going on, Noir, the Sony
I
thing,
mean,
the new
here's my
movie
thing.
coming out.
Spider Noir, it's like I'll definitely check that out, and I'm sure it'll be decent, but it just feels a little weird that it exists. I don't know. Like, so I don't know, something
I
about a
agree.
Spider-Man show being on Amazon Prime, and it's Nick
Oh, I
Cage,
didn't
and
even know that.
You know it's on Prime? Yeah, it's on
No,
Prime.
that's weird.
it's gonna be on Prime, yeah. And oh, I also saw something about how like finally No Way Home is gonna be added on Disney Plus soon.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and
Finally.
yeah, basically the whole war, the custody battle, essentially, of Spider-Man between the
Right.
Marvel and Sony. It does add a lot of the struggles.
I mean, I did
think
hear that they were loosening their grip. They did recently
Halo.
say, like, when it came to
I was like,
Brand New
what?
Day, when it came to Brand New Day and beyond, I had
It's my
heard that they
ringtone.
were, I had heard that they were loosening their grip on their characters, kind of
Right.
like
Yeah.
like they were saying, okay, we're gonna give you guys a lot more access to things. Like they said, they're not gonna do any more stuff with Venom, so that Marvel can use Venom now. So like,
Right. But more
Good.
specifically with Brand New Day, I mean, I'm down to see like if they do a take on Man Spider. I think that would be interesting. I'm hoping
Really.
that Brand New Day does have Tom be more quippy, and because I think my biggest issue, one of my biggest issues with Tom Spider-Man, looking back on how they did it, was that I think they made him rely on Tony Stark way too much. But because now
yep,
Tony's dead, where I think Brand New Day is essentially, I kind of consider Brand New Day as a soft reboot or like relaunch of Spider-Man, and hopefully it
In a way.
is, in a way, like I want it to be. Again, like having more quippy. He has his own suit now. He's making his own webs, or like his webs are becoming more again with the whole mutation thing.
yeah.
There's just like
Starts
it's just gonna be a
pooping
big movie.
webs.
Pooping webs. Webs
I
from a
think they're
butt.
starting to pick up the pieces. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Also, one of the things I really got to give Brand New Day credit for, they're holding back right now because I'm really impressed in this trailer. Like they're doing the whole City Sync stuff in the background, whatever, right? And they showed some of these villains and factions you have, but their biggest guy for this movie, they're not showing. Tombstone is the real threat of this movie. Like
Oh
they're
my
all
God.
kind of centered in, but Tombstone is
Okay, I'm
like,
back.
this is gonna be a situation where Tombstone is like, and Kenna knows this because we watched Spectacular Spider-Man together. I heard they're doing the big man. Like I heard that like what they're probably gonna do is the damage control guy. I think the actor's name is Tillman. Tillman is working with Tombstone. They're working together, and that's why they're focusing on damage control. Because I'm telling you, Luke, when you watch Wonder Man, when you finally do it, you're gonna be like, even the Wonder Man is more like it's different than MCU things. You're gonna watch Wonder Man and be like, okay, I know what's gonna happen in Spider-Man. Like the moment you watch Wonder Man, pieces of things are gonna start to come together because it's the same director, and I think he put those seeds in Wonder Man, planted on purpose because he's doing Spider-Man. Like, and I think Chris, you watched all Wonder Man, right?
Yeah, I finished the one. Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about, right? You know why I'm
But
saying
even
that?
when you watch Shang-Chi as well, like
The pieces are there.
the
Yep.
pieces are there too. So it's
Yep.
like,
It just
this
makes
guy,
sense.
he knows what he's doing as well. Like that's the thing. You know.
Well, that's why I'm glad that they gave it Dustin, because John Watts is terrible. I'm sorry, bro. Like John Watts should
I
never
didn't
touch
mind-
Spider-Man ever again.
I
Like,
didn't mind these Spider-Man adaptations, but it was more so along the lines of like, all right, so when is he going to be his own person? When is he going to be his own hero? That's what Spider-Man's always been to everybody, and I think, and that was one of my biggest gripes, is that
Yep.
I don't mind these films, but I want Spider-Man to be his own person. I want him to finally be Spider-Man.
I just
think
really
it's
hope
Right.
that the way that they get
Agreed.
Spider-Man to be, I just really hope that they get the way they get Spider-Man to not only be on his own, but the way they get Spider-Man to literally like actually like start being funny is how annoying. How annoying! I hope
Right,
Frank is in a lot.
he should
The
be
Punisher.
rage baiting.
Yeah,
he
I
should
hope
be
the
a
Punisher
rage
is in a
baiter.
lot of Spider-Man so that he can really push Spider-Man. Like I really want him to be. I really just want him to be like, "Yo, Web, you're not gonna get this done. They killed your aunt. They're doing this. You need to get over here and start doing shit.
Yeah, facts.
Well, and not just quippy with Punisher, but like the true quippiness of Spider-Man is that he does that with his foes, because I think it's not just his skills with the webbing and his and like the gymnast. It's he annoys his bad guys so much that they start getting sloppy, and that's how he gets them. And again, to go off what Chris said earlier, it's like what I said earlier, where like this Spider-Man relied on him too much, is like that's what makes Spider-Man great as a hero, is that he's very resilient, and he does things like what makes it like, yes, he has family and friends that he protects, but the heart of the Spider-Man stories in general is that he is all alone, and then he gets beat down, but then he still gets back up again, even though
I think that's the thing
him.
that's going to be so brilliant about this movie is I do think that that there still is a little bit too much Homecoming Spider-Man still, even with the trailer out. Not Homecoming, No Way Home Spider-Man, because I think that he's still feeling the loss of Aunt May, and I think that that's why you have a character like Punisher in this movie, because with Punisher, they're not doing Frank ain't mentoring nobody. He's not here to mentor. He's not here to mentor. Hey, I'm Uncle Frank, Spider-Man. I'm gonna help you out, dude. This is not that thing. That's not the thing that's going on. He is here to cause problems. So for me,
can you impersonate Daredevil?
Daredevil? I haven't done Daredevil yet. I got to get used to it. I'm really good at Punisher and I'm really good at Fisk because I've watched a lot of clips of them. So it's like,
wait, Joe, did you talk about season 1 of Invincible?
Oh yeah, I was gonna do that. I was gonna do that when I came back.
Give us that.
Okay,
somehow we ended up right back on Spider-Man.
Yeah, we always end up on Spider-Man. Might as well call us the J. Jonah Jameson podcast. Dude. I want Spider-Man, which is funny because I'm about to talk about J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
So I just watched Invincible all of season 1. I binged it. You know, I was late to the party, whatever. Finally got to watch it. I absolutely love this show. I love the characters. I love that. The thing I hate more than anything is because I'm watching it so late, I know so much stuff that is like, it makes me so mad. Like, I'm watching season 1 and I'm going like, man, Amber and Mark are so cute. And I'm like, fuck, I know what happens already. So I'm like, it pissed me off because I'm like, I'm really trying to root for them. And then the second that I realized, oh no, but he ends up with Eve anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then, so my brain just kind of
I want you guys to catch up, man. I want to be able to, like, Invincible is some of the best superhero stuff right now.
Yeah, no, but I'm like, just from the first season perspective, like, I love how it starts, just how, like, they leave you for so many episodes onto, did Omni-Man really do this? Did something else happen? Like, we're investigating this thing, and then, yeah, he really did it. And I gotta give credit because one of my favorite things about this show is I always was a fan of the idea of Omni-Man, but one thing I gotta say is, like, good on J.K. Simmons, not just being J.K. Simmons in being Omni-Man. Like, I like how as Omni-Man, you get to see J.K. Simmons be a father. You get to see him, like as Omni-Man, you see both sides, like, oh yeah, even when he's hiding behind these lies, he's a father. And, like, he's trying his best to live that life. And then when the reveals happen eventually, and it gets to that epic showdown between him and Mark, you really feel like you can feel, oh wow, J.K. Simmons he's not yelling like J. Jonah Jameson. He's not that rip-off Commissioner Gordon from the Snyder movies. He's locking in as this character, and you're like, okay, this guy is really good. And
I really have to give some credit to the voice actors on this show too.
Yeah,
because definitely. They fucking kill it. Like, and they're all well known, you know, like actors, like literally, right? So like you recognize their voices. Like you're in season 1, Joe. So like for you right now, I feel like it's very recognizable. You're like, you know who you're listening to. But like season 4, dude, I'm just like, nah, that's Omni-Man. That's Mark. You know what I mean? Like I don't even really think about who's voicing them anymore.
Yeah, you don't think about the actors because you got so used to them being the characters.
They are their characters. You know what I mean? Like and honestly, big credit to Seth Rogen, who everyone loves to shit on. Seth Rogen kills it as Alan.
I love Alan. What I've seen of Alan in season 1, I'm enjoying Alan. I like Alan. I like the scene at the end with him.
Like, I remember when season 1 came out and everybody was like, "Oh, Seth Rogen's in this. Is that guy? He actually did a pretty good job." Like now, I'm at the point where it's like, no, Seth Rogen kills it as Alan.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think about how it's Seth Rogen anymore. Really,
That's the thing as well. Like he's had his hand in the Invincible and the Boys. So
that was my
bro,
next point. Chris was
so it's
so
this guy. I'm sorry, but to me, Seth Rogen, he knows how to adapt.
Yep.
On that superhero stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He knows how to do it. The thing is with Seth Rogen, what I like about him is that his comedy is like my comedy. Like I'm very like I laugh at the inappropriate things a lot of the times, and which I shouldn't do, yeah. But I respect his comedy in the sense of that, like it's dark. It needs to be this way. This is what it is. This is real life stuff. This isn't the fake comic world that we see from an MC or DC. This is what it is. This is reality. This is just what it is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah,
really
dude. It goes there where Disney and like Warner Brothers won't. Like it does. I feel like the only DC movie that does is the Batman. You know what I mean? Like other than that, no. You know. But
it definitely gets to that point. It's like it's really cool that they really have found such great things. Like the boys are gonna deliver, and like,
I cannot wait for you to get to season 3 and 4 because it gets so brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be over the moon about it.
Trust me, I'm gonna keep powering along. We do gotta power through a couple more topics because it is getting closer to it's now 4:15, so it's getting pretty close to when I have to leave to go watch Mario. So let's see, what's our next topic? So
actually, we have too much. Oh, we do have a little bit left. All right, so
we'll go fast. It's okay.
Right. We'll leave DTF and Rooster for the very end.
Okay.
But why don't we do? So we had some trailers this week. We should have probably started with the trailers, to be honest.
But that would have been a good idea.
We did Marvel. All right. So we got the Masters of the Universe trailer and the Supergirl trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are we talking about first?
We're on superheroes, so let's do Supergirl.
Okay, Supergirl. Yeah. All right, so everyone goes across the room and says what they think of the Supergirl trailer. Okay, sounds good.
Well, you guys go first.
I liked it. I liked the Supergirl trailer. I understand that it's not the most hypeful trailer, but I think it gets the job done. Of like, okay, we did no more context of what the story is going to be, because obviously we had an idea that it's inspired by the Woman of Tomorrow comic, but it's clearly not a straight up adaptation of it. They're doing their own twist for it, so we get a more clearer direction of what they're going with for the movie version. I liked the Lobo part added to it, and like I like the idea that Lobo and Kara are actually going to be working together to probably save Crypto, compared to like I had the idea of my head that Lobo and Kara would face off, and maybe they still do later in the movie or beginning of the movie when they first meet, and then they team up later. I don't know. Depends on how it goes.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people say that it has a very much Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, and I do see it. However, I think the production design, since we get to see more of the atmosphere, it's very different. It's more like, I think Guardians of the Galaxy had that a little bit of a retro vibe to it, but I think Supergirl delves more deep into the retro vibe of like space compared to Guardians did.
For sure. I definitely agree. I definitely think that is that's right on the money. Like I think I just recently watched this trailer of the Most a Bunch. I really like it. Like I said, it's not super hype, but like if you know the story, adaptations don't copy and paste.
Or just if you're a Supergirl fan in general, it's nice to see her getting the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I was impressed. And one of the things I didn't like about the first trailer as much is I like that you're seeing Supergirl in on the action a lot more. Like I saw her with the sword in the end of the trailer. I saw her, which is what happens in the comic, by the way. If you guys have read the comic, she wields a sword. So the fact that they're doing that, I think is cool. I like the shot of her fighting the different enemies. And then I like that the trailer is narrated by the beginning of the trailer is done by David Cornsweet as Clark. I thought that was cool. I think it was a nice touch. I think that was really cool.
Feels more connected.
So I think that was cool. I know they reshot some things with him, so we'll see how much he's in the movie. But but I like the idea of what they're doing with the villains are interesting. I wasn't expecting Lobo to be teaming up with Supergirl, but I'm glad Lobo's in it. It's interesting that they're one gripe I do have, and I will say this, and I know this is crazy. I don't like that Superman and Supergirl are both doing, oh, Crypto got taken out, and now we got to do something to save him. Because in Superman, they had Crypto get knocked out, and now it's like, okay, we're just repeating this now.
Right,
That's the
I
one
get
thing that bothers me.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that, and I already didn't like the Crypto thing because I just feel it's a cheap way to try to get sympathy out of your viewers. Honestly, like it's a dog. The dog's poisoned. You know that every fucking person is gonna be like, "Oh, not the dog." You know, like literally, people try to boycott video games because dogs get hurt in them. It's like, dude, it happens. You know what I mean? It's a video game.
Yeah,
like
they're
I think you're
trying to
be
tell a
okay.
story. Bad things happen. It happens.
The only
So-
argument that I can make for, because I do agree, it's like, okay, Crypto is needs to be saved again. I get that, but I also
Actually, I'm just gonna say technically, Crypto's getting saved again in Superman. Right? Because doesn't this take place before Superman? I don't know, actually.
No, Supergirl is after Superman.
Yeah, this is after because technically, because Kara goes and gets Crypto.
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, she picks him up at the end. She picks him up at the end of the Superman movie. But what I was going to say is that
well, it's her dog, so I figured it was like a younger version of him. I almost kind of thought that from the trailer.
there is a flashback where it is a younger version, but that's clearly a flashback and not present in the movie. But I'm going to say
Not bad.
the argument that I could make for the whole Crypto thing is like, I still think that we're gonna have the focus of Kara grieving Krypton being gone, and the reason why she's more emotional, I think it will be more emotional this time with Crypto than compared to Superman, because Superman doesn't, in this version, he doesn't have really strong ties to Krypton. While I'll make the argument that Crypto is literally the last thing that Kara has to Krypton because she found him there. And I think we'll get better development between the two cousins and having their relationship start like growing and getting like more family like. But again, there's clearly kind of a divide between Clark and Kara where it's like, you're my cousin and I love you because we're family, but also it's like you are clearly more from Earth than you are Krypton compared to me. So there's like that divide almost, and that's why she's more closer to Crypto than Clark. And I think that will be more developed in the movie. I think probably near the end she'll be more closer to Clark. Because like what Joey said, that there's some reshoots, I think, where Superman is going to be more in the movie than it originally planned. So I'm assuming that there's going to be, and I won't hate it. I think I'll really like it. A more like a super family team up in a way. That maybe they'll save Crypto together or they fight whatever the big bad is together. And then that's how they grow as a relationship.
That's a good idea. Oh, go ahead, Luke.
That's where I think like this trailer came out and like I personally am kind of like, okay, it feels like an extended version of the teaser. You know what I mean? Like we really didn't get much more out of it, and it almost feels like there's the same shots in it, right? Like I feel like we're watching some of the same
I don't think it's necessarily the same shots, but definitely the same like area.
Scenery.
Scenery,
you know
exactly.
Like, and it just feels like there's not really much new in it. You know what I mean? Like it feels almost like a just second version of the thing we already got. You know what I mean? Like extended, like a little bit more Lobo. Oh, there's the Crypto part. Other than that, I can't even say what the difference is. You know what I mean? Oh, Superman's in it for a second. You know what I mean? Like that's it. That's all I got. Other than like we already kind of knew.
And we got actual Lobo dialogue instead of Lobo being in the background. Like the fact that he talks to her in the bar, and the fact that he's got the fight scene with her at the end. I think that's pretty cool.
But we were kind of talking about how like I'm a little worried for DC. You know what I mean? Like this whole Paramount thing, but like also just how slow DC is moving. You know what I mean? Where it like let's pick it up. We don't even know who Batman is yet. You know what I mean? Like when's all this like it could fall apart because of Paramount because of that. You know what I mean? Like Supergirl's gotta be good because I don't see Clayface saving the DCU if Supergirl's just okay. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing that I think is kind of the trick thing. I think if Supergirl's okay, it won't be that horrible. But I think the thing as crazy as this sounds, even though it's more like movies are more you spend more money on a movie than you do a TV show. I think DC's hands because of how, and no disrespect to Supergirl, because of how much this specific character is important to fans. If Lantern sucks, that's where I think DC
Oh, yeah.
is.
No, you're
fucked.
right.
I
You're
think
right.
that's the one where
Yeah,
if
I mean, if they both are just
because
okay,
if you have two times that DC could do Green Arrow right, not Green Arrow, Green Lantern right, man, that's gonna hurt. Like, because they failed the Ryan Reynolds one of this, and if this is bad, oh, that's gonna be rough. So
I do feel like this is where DC's going slow, but I think where it could shine is in these connections, in these family connections. Like you just said, kind of like the more family vibe thing, right? Like having Crypto in both actually really does make it feel more like a real family. Like Superman's watching Crypto, Supergirl's watching. Like Crypto matters to the family. He is the family,
and it's also they're both. It's I think again like yes, in the end of Superman, he realizes that it doesn't matter what his biological parents are. His human parents raised him, but he still loves Crypto because that's also, he's from Krypton, like that's his connection to heritage.
Right.
But the way that Kara and Clark connect to their heritage is very different.
It kind of makes Superman more relatable because you have this like broken family and then your new chosen family, right? Compared to my perfect family from Krypton that died and my perfect family from Kansas, like because Superman's just so perfect all the time, right? So like it's nice to get that difference of.
And I would like the idea, like Ken, we might be onto something about like if they put more scenes with him, it'd be cool if like, oh wow, okay, Kara's upset because she doesn't know how to help Crypto, and then Clark has to show up and is literally like, hey, and she's like, I need your help, and then they actually have to team up and be proper cousins and do their thing. I mean, that'd be really cool. I would love to see that. If they put that in a movie, and this is the first time we're seeing Supergirl, other than her little cameo in Superman, those two teaming up before Man of Tomorrow to build that connection, I think is really cool. If that's what they're planning on doing,
I hope so.
I love that.
I mean, that's the way that I'm viewing it, but
I think that's a good way to view it. I mean, it would be really cool if that's why they're doing extra scenes, is to give us that Superman and Supergirl dynamic. I think it would be great. I mean,
and I do agree the hesitation with DCU moving forward. Like, I do agree that it is like it's a really slow cooker. And like, okay, we have Supergirl, but then our next movie is Clayface, but like we don't know who Wonder Woman is, we don't know who Batman is yet, and like we don't know if the Green Lantern show is gonna be good, even though Peacemaker was amazing, right? But we're still so on the movies and the future TV shows. Oh, and also Creature Commandos, that was good, but that's kind of underrated, I feel like, because it's an animated thing.
I mean, the thing that makes it really hard is like with Clayface, right? Clayface being successful. The sad thing is it can be successful as an individual project, but I've already heard.
But it doesn't mean that it will necessarily push the DCU moving forward. Because I think Clayface would be a really good standalone movie, especially if it's a DC horror movie. But is there going to be anything included unless it's like Easter eggs or a crazy cameo or an end credit scene? Is it really going to push how DCU is going to be moving narratively? And that's where the MCU has to jump ahead in phase 1, where like, okay, they had Iron Man, they had Thor, and even though those are standalone movies, they were all still very connected and push the narrative forward for the Avengers movie to have happen. And and right now DCU, even though we have good takes of like Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, Superman, and probably Supergirl, it's like, okay, but this isn't really, and then Green Lanterns, but it's like, okay, this isn't really setting up like a Justice League film. Right? Which is what it should. What I really think should be doing is like we should have gotten like, okay, we have the Superman movie, the Supergirl movie, and then we should be getting Wonder Woman movie, Batman movie to really kind of do it in the way that the MCU do, is that you do these solo movies, but they still do it in a good way where it makes sense for when they finally do team up in the Justice League film.
Yeah, I even said this like a few weeks back as well. Like, because of how established DC is, like people know who Batman is, Wonder Woman.
Right, DC's very iconic. No, like that's why even though they had misses of movies,
that's what I'm saying. Like they know people, even if you're not a big time comic book reader, you know who these characters are because
you've seen them at least.
I think that's part of why it is harder to make these adaptations for these characters compared to Marvel. The Marvel movies made a lot of these characters in the mainstream. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
a lot of
Iron
people
Man.
or the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
who
Yeah.
know them before, unless you were a comic reader? Like,
And that's why I think Peacemaker is really so far very successful compared,
Yep.
because yes, it's DC, but nobody knew Peacemaker.
right?
And that's why there's more of a struggle when it comes to the big names like Superman
Yes,
and
'cause
Batman and Wonder Woman.
Here
Yeah.
come the fans, and they're like,
Right.
"That's not
And-
Superman. This
right, that's
isn't
like,
Batman."
right,
Yeah, literally, they
Yeah.
care
But-
so much because, like, dude, Superman's on your shampoo bottle when you're 5 years old. Superman is like on everything. Batman's on everything. You know, like literally, my deodorant has Superman on it. Like, just because it was cheaper.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what I'm
I
Like,
saying.
just
Like,
feel like, again, the
if they were to go
cartoons.
to a Justice League kind of movie,
DC had better cartoons to watch than Marvel did, arguably.
yeah,
I mean,
100%.
besides
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man.
They did.
Um,
They did. They did.
And that's why I think it's more in the like
they
consciousness
got lucky
of the
that
public.
they had the good
Right.
writers, and then they still fought them. So,
Right. And I mean, like I said, in a group chat before, it's like literally last year or in 2024, like 3 celebrities for Halloween dressed up as DC characters, and that got a lot of traction. And not to say there hasn't been like celebrities dressing up as Marvel characters, that definitely has been done before, but it just didn't get the same traction as everybody being like, wow, look, Megan Starfire, wow, Sabrina Carpenter is Wonder Woman, look, oh, Aisha Speed's the Black Flash. Like, it got a lot of popularity. I don't really see a lot of other celebrities dressing up as, like, I don't know, Captain America being like, wow, they dressed up as Captain America. Like, no one
Well,
really.
I feel like it's also too right now specifically. Like, we're on the people are sick of Marvel. Marvel's trying to
Right.
rebuild and be popular again, right? And
Mhm.
DC is blowing up in a way
Mhm.
where it's like
Mhm.
Peacemaker's really good. Sure, maybe not everyone's crazy about Superman, but it's still a good movie. It's still here. It's still the most accurate representation of Superman. It's still in our face. You know what I mean? Like, these things are starting to come more into the forefront compared to
Yeah,
Marvel,
people
which
just want to
trying to
change. They
return.
want different things, and I think even if Spider-Man's good on the Marvel side, I think the thing that's going to really be the changer to make people lean towards Marvel again is if Doomsday just comes out and it's
Yeah, we need Doom.
incredible.
We
Yeah.
literally need Doom because you know what? Spider-Man being Marvel's most popular character is the most inaccurate representation of everyone in the MCU.
Yep.
What? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? I can't with that.
So like, if
But-
Doomsday comes out as a but I think with this final thoughts for the Supergirl thing is just like, yeah, I feel like my biggest fear is, I know they did reshoots for Clayface and whatever, but based on what we heard from behind the scenes for the reports, my biggest fear is we know Clayface is set up in Gotham, and you talk about details and world building. If we don't get any references or anything with Bruce Wayne or Batman, this is going
But
to be
I
a
feel like it
problem.
would be a major miss to have a Clayface movie and have nothing with Batman. And that's why it's like, oh, the Gotham police cars and Clayface setting. I don't care. Duh. Of course, because
Batman.
Clayface is in Gotham. Yeah,
Yep.
what about
Yeah.
Batman? What about Batman?
It's just like, I don't know why. Like, it
And I mean,
sucks.
we've gotten a Batman tease in Creature Commandos, but that's animated, right? So it's like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
we still don't know who the actor is. And I feel like, no, to be honest, no matter who they pick to be playing as Batman, people are going to be upset no matter what. People are upset
They
about
have
Christian Bale
been.
being Batman. Right.
Yes,
People have been
every
upset about
single one.
Robert Pattinson being Batman. But guess what? They have their fans, so I'm
The
sure whoever
Twilight guy is
who-
gonna be Batman.
Right, literally, that's how
And-
everyone is acting.
and
But
now we're at
guess
the
what?
point-
Robert's
Now
the
he is
favorite.
Batman. Now
Right,
he
Robert's
is
the
Batman.
favorite.
Yeah,
Right.
no one cares
And-
about Twilight. Yeah.
And that's why I feel
Yeah.
like whoever the next guy they're gonna pick, I'm sure there's gonna be like, wah. But as long as his portrayal is good, who cares?
Alan
Do
Richardson.
I think
Just
the
put him
next
in
guy
the
will
suit and
probably
get it
be?
done. At this
Right.
point, just put him in the suit, get it done. We need
Dude.
Batman now.
I still
So-
think probably no matter who they get for Batman, I mean, maybe this is biased, and again, my opinion could change once we actually get something of substance for the DCUs. Like, I still think Robert Pattinson is probably still going to be the best version of Batman that we
I
have.
agree.
But that doesn't necessarily that the other dude is going to be horrible.
Right. It still could be good.
Mhm.
It's just a different representation. Wow.
It
Right,
depends
yeah.
how
I
it
feel like the
depends how
Batman
the
is more what
portrayal is.
people
Like,
want.
because if it's a really good portrayal, and if it's that really good Batman that people have been waiting to see, and they really have done, if all these little missteps and all these little like searches were for this one actor to be this like specific thing, then we'll see what happens. But like, it just depends.
I kind of think that James Gunn isn't safe, to be honest. I think
I
that
agree. I agree.
this year, very much how this year goes is like we could see if this all becomes okay and not amazing, Paramount's gonna get rid of James Gunn, dude.
Yeah, that's what
I think.
scares me.
Right.
That's what
But-
scares me.
And that's why we're not getting the Batman casting. I think this whole thing is why it got delayed. And it's like, let's wait until we see how James Gunn does under us. And then we'll see if we let him mess with Batman. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the good thing, right? Here's the good thing when you look at this situation, right? No matter what, even though Clayface and Clayface, Lanterns, and Supergirl say they all underperform, right? And that sucks, right? Here's the one thing that we got to think about, right? None of those 3 projects, James Gunn has any involvement other than overseeing the scripts, right? So here's the one. So here's the one thing I think about, right? He's not allowed to be taken off until Man of Tomorrow is in theaters. So
I think Man of Tomorrow is the last determiner if all of this ends up just
right.
being
But let's say
okay,
if all these other
you know?
projects that are happening before Man of Tomorrow just suck, right? And that sucks, right? But what if Man of Tomorrow makes more money than Superman and Peacemaker combined?
It could with Brainiac and everything.
Yeah.
It could be
good.
badass.
So like if they cook on Man of Tomorrow, like they have Green Lantern in there, they have Hawkgirl, they have like I've heard nothing but insanity with Man of Tomorrow so far.
Right.
Like
I'm sure it will be cool. But
Yeah.
and I think if Supergirl
And maybe
does
the introduction
really well,
of Martian Manhunter. I really
yeah,
feel
possibly.
I feel like Man of Tomorrow has to be the DC movie that really, again, like I said earlier, really pushes the narrative of where the DCU is
Yeah,
going forward
agree.
in
Justice
its
League.
universe. Right, exactly. Especially if it is true that Martian Manhunter is going to appear in this one. That's, again, another member, another one
right.
added to the
That's
team.
like the fade away of the Justice Gang into the Justice League, right? But I lost it.
Oh yeah, so no, you had something and you lost it? Dang, that's crazy.
If Supergirl does really well, I think you'll see the Batman casting not long after.
Yeah, I won't be surprised for that.
Right.
So
They'll be
let's-
like, you know what, James Gunn, you're
I think
doing
it
great.
would make sense for them to drop that soon as after that Supergirl. Anyway.
So let's
Because-
hope that
But if it underperforms, I could see him waiting, like even longer. Just because I feel like Paramount, James Gunn's like got well-reviewed projects, you know what I mean? But like if they don't make the money that they want, that's what really matters.
So let's hope because to be honest, even though we've only got little slivers of it, I do think right now that like Supergirl will be good. I hope. I think Lanterns has a really good chance if they've been holding back because they have some really crazy stuff. If Lanterns comes out of nowhere and it's nothing that these people have been saying about it and it's just like crazy good, right? Then that could be awesome. And because people love if they can get Green Lanterns right, if people fall in love with this version of Hal Jordan, if people love Jon Stewart, because Jon Stewart's going to be in Man of Tomorrow. So if Jon Stewart is not amazing in Lanterns and you don't care about his character, then Man of Tomorrow has already failed. Because if you're watching Man of Tomorrow and Jon Stewart is in there and we just saw him in Lanterns, then it's not going to matter. Because this guy, the whole story is this training day story of like making him be ready to be Green Lantern. So
I agree. And we're supposed to get him in
Lanterns
Man
has
of
to
Tomorrow.
be. I think Lanterns has even more pressure than Supergirl because Lanterns has to be done right. It has.
Yeah, you're
It
kind
has
of
to
right.
be good.
Yeah,
But Supergirl isn't this main character of the Justice League either.
Nah.
She's kind of
Right.
just a Superman family member,
Yep.
right? So like
Right.
Green
And also
Lantern's
people
a
are-
core member,
Even
Yeah,
with the
I'm-
both
yeah.
trailers coming out, people are definitely way more excited for Supergirl than Lanterns.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's
Lanterns
Yeah,
trailer,
that's true.
teaser trailer has yet to really impress anyone.
And I think that's
Right.
gonna be
So-
that's gonna be a part of its benefit because we know Lanterns might not hit till August, right? Till after Supergirl comes out. Because Supergirl's in June, I believe. So the one thing that we got to look at is crap. It's so funny. I just realized something crazy. Because we're gonna talk about this next. This should probably be our last topic because I think I have to go after we finish this last topic.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up a couple things after you go.
Okay.
but
Okay, that's okay. Well, I'll leave after this next one then probably.
Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. So I gotta talk about Masters of the Universe.
Oh, right.
So I realized that Masters of the, I don't know what the date for Supergirl is, but I realized at the end of the trailer that Masters of the Universe comes out in June as well. This could be bad news. This could be bad news.
Because it's way better Then
Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm sure you guys have seen my reaction. I fell in love with this trailer. For me, even though I didn't react to Supergirl, and I just talked about it. With Masters of the Universe, He-Man. The thing that blew me away the most, like, yeah, there's some cool action shots. Yeah, Eternia looks cool. Yeah, there's really cool characters. The thing that blew me away is that my biggest fear is now out of the way, and that makes me happy. The fact that they've taken Jared Leto as Skeletor, and Skeletor sounds awesome.
Right, the franchise killer.
Like the franchise killer looks like he's not going to kill a franchise for once, because he looks like when he talks.
Well, you don't get to see his face. That's
right. When he talks in this trailer, the voice they chose for Skeletor, I'm so glad we're not getting the He-Man.
Dude, this is the first time an actor is getting like a superhero role or villain role, right? And like the studio doesn't want to show their face. Normally, like it's the other way around, where it's like we got to have Iron Man out of the suit. We got to see his face all the time. It's Robert Downey Jr. We paid for these actors. We need to see these actors' faces. Meanwhile, Jared Leto's the one fucking black sheep that people are like, nah, keep his face out of this shit. Like, oh, so funny, dude.
But no, but it's just I really love the voice they chose for him, because I think Skeletor, like I saw someone use this word. This could be the movie that makes people remember what toxic masculinity feels like. Like, I have a feeling that this movie is going to start bringing that, like, that energy
back. Or do you mean, like, not toxic masculinity, but, like, maybe positive masculinity, right?
Yeah, positive masculinity.
That like so much masculinity has been labeled as toxic in modern days, but it'd be nice to get a little bit of love for, like, you know, not all masculinity is toxic. Like,
you're complaining about the women in a lot of projects right now, but I think like you might get some good men stuff in He-Man, because here's the thing: He-Man can apply to like these movies. I forget what studio it is that's
it's
making
really
He-Man.
a She-Ra movie, and we've all been fooled.
Oh no, Ken would love that. Ken would love that. But the whole idea is,
here's my thing. If they're gonna do She-Ra, it's gonna be like an end credit scene. BS,
yeah, she'll be the sequel, I think. You know.
Yeah, and I would love that. Movie. Love She-Ra.
Who is it making this He-Man movie? Is it Lionsgate? Who is the studio that's making it?
I think it is Lionsgate.
I will say that I just small nitpicks with this where like I just don't like that they changed He-Man's origin of like he grew up on Earth.
Yeah, I agree, but it's fine. It's like whatever.
It'll be all right. It's Masters
it'll
of the
serve
Universe.
the story.
It's not Superman, right? So like we don't need to care much, right?
Yeah,
but like it's just a little thing of like
as long as we get Eternia throughout the entire movie, and Man in Arms played by Idris Elba looks great. Yeah. I like that they're showing more of the adversaries in the movie. Like you see Trapjaw. I like how Evil Lynn looks. Like it's got some good stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks good.
Yeah, no, it does look. It looks fun. I think
I think it'll be a fun movie.
Like when
I
Guardians.
think it's a fun, campy, very like even though it's modern movie. Like I really hope it brings that like 80s feel. But
it also looks like it could get a little dark, because there's that scene. It looks kind of dark. It looks kind of dark too, because there's that scene where He-Man's getting really beat up by Skeletor, and he's holding him and really just like beating into him. And so I think that's really cool. So I think it could be a good balance.
That is, excuse me, sir. That's not yours. This is my sword, or something.
Yeah.
It looks funny. I think like it's got kind of some MCU humor to it, but I think that could work.
In his favor.
Yeah. Well, people want seriousness out of Marvel. They want seriousness out of DC. They don't want tons of jokes. Sure, it works sometimes, but like He-Man, I think is different. I think He-Man is campy. It's fun. I mean, like, and I think we're getting that in this live action. It looks fun. You know what I mean? The campiness kind of comes through in that humor. Like, I think it would work. You know, I think it's gonna be a good movie. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Well, I think I'm gonna bounce, guys. Because I gotta get ready to go watch Mario. So you guys
get that review out.
Yeah, right the review now.
As soon as I get home. Don't worry.
All right.
You guys enjoy your DTF talk. See you guys on the next episode.
DTF.
DTF. All right.
With I think we should just do Rooster real quick because it's
Yeah, I was just gonna say
yeah.
that too, Worcester. You
So
watched the latest. You can
I
go.
did. I'm caught up
Mhm.
on Rooster. Chris, where are you on? You stopped watching it, right?
I think I was on episode like 3. Yeah, 3.
Oh, then you just haven't seen the newest one, I think.
The newest one, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that right? Or is there 5 now? I don't know.
There's probably
Um,
5
I don't
now.
remember.
Yeah, me either. And I watched it. It's just mediocre show. Like
Yeah.
whenever I look up the reviews about it, it like trite is the word that comes up a lot. Like it's been done. Nothing about this is original. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
It's not like Chair Company. It's not like it's
it's
a nothing
cringe
burger.
humor and it's a drama. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's basic. And honestly, a lot of the characters aren't really likable.
No,
Like,
I don't care about
wow.
any of them.
right. It's hard to get into. Like I'm still
Yeah.
enjoying it. And I think this newest episode was the best one so far. And
Mhm.
like I got a little bit of starting to like these characters. Like
Mhm.
finally the daughter of Steve Carell's character, what's his name?
I don't know. Don't remember.
Rooster,
Yeah,
right? Or that's his book, right?
No,
He
Rooster's
is
his
Rooster,
book.
right? That's,
Hey,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
yeah, the characters are quite forgettable.
I can't remember.
like his daughter actually finally turns in this one to not being this super depressed, super angry character, right?
Mhm.
Like that's all we've really got out of her so far. Understandably, because
Right, what
been
she's going
cheated
through.
on
Yeah.
through her ex-husband. They're not together. He got the girl he cheated on her with pregnant. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like, and like literally that girl has been more likable than most of the
Right.
cast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally. I'm like, I find her funny
Yeah, I like
out
her
of
too.
everybody else.
And
Everybody.
the dynamic of her and John McQuigley, I think is his name, who used to play Dr. Cox on Scrubs, the dean. That's his like actor name, his real name,
Yeah.
birth name. He
Okay.
works really well with her. Like
Mhm.
especially as someone who's watched all of Scrubs, you know, and seen how that guy acts as Dr. Cox. It's very similar to how he plays the dean, right? And both shows are written by the same guy. That's why he's in this. And because the writer, I forget his name right now, is good friends with John McQuigley. So I feel like he knows his style, and like he wrote this character to work with his character in a really good way. Like the dynamic in Scrubs was he was the hard ass and he was teaching JD the mentee, or like he was mentoring JD, and like JD's a softie. He's a total softie, head in the clouds. Like I want Dr. Cox to really recognize me. You know what I mean? Like, and this is more like she's a hard ass too, which is cool. Like she's just more like I don't know what the right word is. She's kind of like compartmentalized as a character with her
I just feel
personality.
like right now the characters, besides like I know that the daughter gets more development in the later episode, they're all very one note. They're all very like every character is based on like a trope or an archetype, but I feel like these characters in this show are very much just like it is the archetype of the characters that they're playing.
Yeah, that's
There's
all
no
it
more
is. Yeah, that's how I
nuanced
feel
take on
watching
it.
these episodes.
I think Steve Carell had actually a couple funny moments in this one too. There's like a scene where McQuigley's wife, they go to a party and she's there and she's wearing a kimono, right? Like nobody else. She's wearing a
She's just
kimono,
like
like
that.
white woman in a kimono, and like Steve Carell like goes to say to somebody next to him, he's like, well, at least I didn't wear a kimono. And like the music that was playing in the room stops right before he says that, so everyone in the room hears him. And she just like darts at him, and he walks over there and he's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. Is it okay if I just like left? And then he leaves. And he comes back later and like talks to the dean, and he's like, hey, so I insulted your wife earlier, I'm sorry. And then the dean's just like, no, don't be. She looks ridiculous in that kimono. Like there was actually some funny parts in this, you know, and that's not even the only one. There's some actual character development. There's one of the students that Steve Carell's character starts to get attached to, who like doesn't really belong there. He's like, he grew up in the same town and his family works for the school, so he got in that way. And he clearly is an underachiever. You know what I mean? And I feel like Rooster's kind of seeing himself in that kid, right? So like it's starting to get better, right? Like it's a slow burn of a show. And that makes sense. Like if we really are going for an Office type show that's gonna last, the first season of The Office is fucking rough, bro. Like
true.
Yeah, it is. It's really not that good. Anytime I watch The Office, I'm skipping season 1.
Yeah, I'm going season 2 or 3. So.
Yeah, I start at 4 personally because I don't want to rewatch the whole will they, won't they with Pam and Jim. And season 4 starts with Pam and Jim just together. So I'm cool with that, you know. But yeah, it's all right.
It is what it is.
All right, let's go DTF. Why don't you guys talk about it first?
I really like this episode. I think this is the best episode. And I think at first I remember the last time we talked about the episode before this one, it's like, well, I hope they don't really like drop the ball with the whole mystery and make it too like predictable and simple. But they delivered that on this episode. They made it. They didn't. It was a good twist, but it wasn't like over the top. Right. It was very natural and realistic, and it wasn't like, you know. Right. And also we get to see more of the heart of the characters, and I think this is what DTF is good about compared to like Rooster. Is like these characters do start off with like this kind of archetype, but then the more you see them, they're like, oh, it's it's just like it's very real. It's very real of a show. I think like a lot of people like love shows that are realistic, but I feel like this one is like actually realistic, like legitimately compared to just like, oh, it kinda is.
No, but 100%. It feels very, very grounded, you know, and relatable. And like, yeah, life sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not one of those happy love stories, man.
Right? And not everything works out, and people grow apart. You know what I mean? And like, it just hits on a lot of levels, man. And
it's also funny at the same time too, despite being, the show the way it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's wicked funny. I mean, like funny. Looking up the reviews to DTF compared to Rooster, it's the complete opposite. People are like, some people like Rooster. Most people are like, on it. Everyone is loving DTF, dude. Oh my God. They love it. They think it's great. You know, I think it's great. Like this, and I think this was like one of the best episodes, if not the best. Like we finally get into the core of like, I feel what the story is actually about.
Right. Yeah. The actual motivations of these characters and why they're doing what they do.
Right. I had been talking to my friends about it, and they were just like, yeah, I feel bad for David Harbour's character, though. He's kind of like so screwed over. And it's like, I had binged like the first 4 episodes, and I didn't really even think about it that much. I was just kind of just enjoying the ride, of this story. And he wasn't the one I was like the most attached to, but I feel this episode really hones in on him.
It does.
Yeah, like
because you're so focused on the wife and the friend that she's sleeping with that you're kind of like, okay, I don't care about Floyd. He's like a loser, right? But then this episode, it's like, oh, he's such a really nice guy and like he's trying his best. Yeah.
You really see like you get it a little bit in a previous episode where Clark and the wife go to the hip hop show.
Yeah, and then he's dancing. Yeah, I like that episode too. And
that's good. And you can see the spark come back in her eyes a little bit where she's like, oh my God, like, look at him. He's doing so good. Yeah. He's so happy. Like, oh, I'm so proud of him. You know what I mean? And like, you can see the love returning that she had lost. And I think this episode hones in on these themes so well. Like, I think DTF's the best thing that's come out this year. And that's me after I rant and rave about Invincible. I was
just gonna be like, wait, what?
I love Invincible, but
this show, I can honestly say this show like is because there's a lot of live action shows that I've watched over the last couple of years, and it's like this one is like just regular stuff, but it's so done so well. Like, and I'm thinking I haven't been able to sit down and watch something like this in a minute.
Right, it's a good breather to have a show that's not like a fantasy or a superhero or like otherworldly. Yeah, right. It's like actually,
because I feel like we used to get that back in like between the late 2000s, early 10s. We used to get shows like that just you could just sit back, relax, just enjoy it for what it is. Like, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, everything became kind of gimmicky, you know?
yeah, it's
Right.
the
Where
same
it's like
thing. And it's
fantasy or
like,
sci-fi or you know,
you
like
know,
cyberpunk 80s.
like when was
Right,
the
But
right.
last
Just like
time we
very
heard of like a
I
good
feel
high
like media
school
has
stuff? Like, you know,
right.
right.
I just feel like media now because I think just because everybody is I think what's refreshing about DTF it's like it's actually showing what people are actually going through now because I think that's why there's such a rise in like other like escapism like media because everyone's like, well, I'm sick of the blah life I'm living in. I would like to watch a show that is set in like fantasy or in a different time period or whatever. While DTF is very like now, I would say. Not
yeah,
like now, but like
no.
definitely close.
And struggles. Everyone
Mhm.
is a
Mm,
lot of people right now are struggling with this
Mhm.
economy, right?
Mhm.
mm,
And this show like gets into that a little bit. It doesn't really discuss it, but like it's in there where
yeah,
Floyd and his wife are poor, man. They can't
Yeah.
afford anything. And
yeah,
this episode showed a lot more of that without telling us. It showed us. And that's
Right.
mm,
part of what makes the writing so good in this show is they don't feel the need to hit you over the head with anything.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
they
know,
don't
like
spoon feed you.
right, it is just there for you to consume and you get it or you don't. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
I also think it's what I find great about the whole like the three their dynamic, their relationship between the three characters is that I think in the very beginning of the show, it's very easy to lean towards the side of like making the wife almost like the villainous character because you look at Floyd and you're like, "Oh, he's just a nice guy, he's trying to do." But also if you were in the wife's shoes and you're like, "My husband is supposed to be getting a new job." But then he comes home empty-handed. Obviously, you're going to be stressed out and upset because you're trying to raise your
right.
son in this house and like you kind of have a shitty job being like a what's it on the softball team or whatever the
Yep.
guard whatever
Like
yeah.
yeah,
Floyd
yeah,
gets to go after his dream just because he decides, while she's carrying all the weight of the
Mm,
financial
mm,
responsibilities in the house. We
mhm.
don't even know what Floyd makes, but we know that his wife has to work that umpire job to make extra money that she clearly doesn't care about, which in turn turns Floyd off of her.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, and like the stress of having to take all that on and then still having no fucking money. You know what I mean? And like you don't even have sex, your relationship's falling apart. The
yeah,
son that you had, like, there's not a good family dynamic going on. You know, like it's no wonder why she would want the affair. And the fact that the
yeah.
Mhm.
show actually shows us that is amazing without
Mhm.
telling us.
Word.
Mhm.
That's so
And I
good.
mean every episode has that scene with her jogging listening to that podcast being like be the dominant one, take over, take charge, cut off the loose weight, and like
Yeah,
that shows of how she uh reacts to Floyd and what's his name? Clark? Is that
Yeah.
his name? Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm. And like why she even though they're having an affair, she's the one who's like doing, she's doming him essentially.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, as well, it's like even the son, even the relationship to be between Floyd and the stepson, yeah,
Mhm.
it's like that was kind of getting a little bit better as well
Right.
through all
Because
of that too, because
Floyd's such a good guy.
Floyd's, a
Mhm.
good guy. He was trying. He didn't give up and say, "Oh, forget. He's just my wife's kid, and I don't care." Like
Right.
he actually put in the time to really understand this kid and try and help him out and whatever. And then even when Floyd passed, the kid was upset, which I thought, wow, I never thought he would have been this upset about it because at first he didn't really like him, but
Ray
now,
didn't care.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think so there's a scene where they go like, so we already know before this episode that
Yeah,
Floyd knows that Clark is banging his wife, right?
yeah,
But we
yeah,
don't know
Mhm.
where that's gonna go. And this episode addresses that and shows us what happened with that. And like, man, like Floyd couldn't be a nicer guy, dude. That's
yeah,
what
for
this show
real.
really, this episode specifically, really builds up. Where
It's
it's
like a
like,
Floyd episode, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
really. And like, he's like, I just want to talk about it. And then he's
Yeah,
like, I'm not able to do those things anymore. And I want my wife to be happy. We stopped
yeah,
having sex so long ago that like I just want her to feel these things. Like he's just so caring that he's
Mhm.
willing to look past his best friend sleeping with his wife. But then he's like, can I watch? But it's not because he wants to watch and like jerk off in the corner. You know what I mean? Like he just wants to be a part of the moment. Like he
Mhm.
explains how it's like a
yeah,
moment for two people to be away from the rest of the world, right? And like he just wants that again with his wife. You know what I mean? And like after the couple of sessions that they have and everything, like Floyd returns to, can we be DTF with our own wives again? Would that be okay with you? You know what I mean? Like, Floyd wants his wife back, and you can tell his wife even wants him back. You know what I mean? Like, but Floyd's in a position where, because of his Peyronie's and his dick condition, like, he can't like get hard, so he can't have sex. It's so sad. Like, we really get into the core of why this all happened in this episode, and I just think it's so well depicted. And like, so Floyd takes Clark and his wife, and they go outside, and they sit down in their shitty backyard at like a plastic table, and he addresses the whole thing in front of everybody, you know what I mean? And like, one of the things he says to Clark is like, I feel bad that you feel bad about banging my wife. You know what I mean? Like, and like, that's how sympathetic Floyd is as a character, is he feels bad that the guy who's banging his wife is going to make him feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, when he said earlier in an episode that Floyd was wonderful, like, you really see that now. And like, now you get Clark being like, I loved Floyd. You know what I mean? And like, you can see it wasn't just like he let me bang his wife. Like, they were extremely good friends. You know what I mean? Like, Floyd was just a very good person, even when Clark wasn't being a good person. And I think that in turn made Clark a better person. You know what I mean? Like, having someone to just be there and be supportive no matter what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, you think you're doing something that you do feel bad about, and the guy makes you feel okay about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really good, man. And it's just sad because like, now we're at a point where, first we thought it was Clark that killed him. Then we thought it was his wife. And some people still do, probably. Right? But like, now you kind of starting to question, maybe Floyd killed himself, like by accident or by purpose. You know what I mean? Like, because he just wanted to have that relationship with his wife again. And it's sad, man. It is sad. Like, that episode hit me, and it's what made me truly be like, this show is really, really something special, to be honest. While I really liked it before this episode, still, like, I think this one brings it all together. You know what I mean? And we were talking about like, oh, there's got to be one more twist. And that's kind of what it was like, the three of them started being together. And it's like, well, where does this go forward from here? And like, how did this affect the relationship? And like, it's good. It makes you question a couple more things, but not in a major way. It keeps you guessing just a little bit for there to be a question going forward. Really good. Really good. Big fan. I think we just have a couple small topics left. That was like the majority of everything we were going to talk about. But I have, let me do, I did talk about PS6 leaks in the very beginning of this.
Right.
So, not only PS6 leaks, but before that, the PS5 just rised in price. They just brought it up.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Rough, bro. It already been raised once from $500 to $550. Now we're seeing $550 to $650 for a PS5. Yep. Hi. Buy a PC. You know what I mean? Like, and then, dude, like, not only that, the PS5 Pro is now $900.
What?
That's
crazy.
Insane. You're better off buying a computer.
Boy, I thought Xbox was doing bad with the prices, but now Sony.
Dude, that's insane. Oh, I'm sorry, Retro. Sorry to change the subject. Anyone watching a live stream of Rocket going to the moon? Oh no, I didn't even know that was happening. I live in a fantasy world. And so I live in fictional worlds and IPs, not this one. And what the hell was I talking about?
The PlayStation 6 leaks.
So there's leaks that it's going to come out next year. I already saw IGN even put out an article. If the PS5 Pro is $900, what does that mean for the PS6? I think it means that you're going to put yourself into the ground. And
literally, PlayStation 6. If PS5 Pro is $900, then I'm assuming PS6 is like $1,000.
Yeah.
Something insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda
And
silly.
that's where I
don't
think
know.
we talked about the Steam machine before.
Yeah.
I think this
Yep.
is where the Steam machine could really win, because the
Yeah.
one thing that's holding people back from that thing is the price tag on it, right?
Yeah.
And we're thinking like, oh, like the Steam machine could be $1,000, like, and that at this point, that's worth it. Like if the PS5 Pro is $900, who knows how much the PS6 is going to be? You're
Yeah.
better off with a Steam machine where you can play almost everything on PlayStation besides the exclusives. You can buy them all cheaper than you could on PlayStation.
Yeah,
And-
you can back the backlog, you can do whatever.
And if the
There's
Steam
so many
machine works
things,
like the
yeah.
Steam Deck, it's a computer for your TV. You can
Yeah,
watch
basically.
the internet on it. You can go on websites. You could go read your comic books on your TV. You could download emulators and play old school games from the PS1, from the
Yeah.
Nintendo 64, whatever. You know what I mean? Like this thing could really, I think PlayStation just opened the doors for the Steam machine to actually really take it over. Steam machine should be 600. We'll see. And that was the other thing, Retro. Like I know D-Man was saying like that it only is like 60 FPS and 120p or 180p. But that's not true. If you look into it, it completely has the capabilities of being 4K and 120 hertz. So I think as long as that happens and the price tag is reasonable, when these two go up against each other, because that's what I see. Like Microsoft is working on Project Helix.
Yeah.
And I think that's the next console they're going to make, right? Who knows what it'll actually be called, if they stick with the Xbox name or they try to rebrand, right?
Yeah.
But I think you're going to really, instead of PlayStation and Xbox go head to head, you're going to see PlayStation and Steam, you know, and I don't think PlayStation has a lot of fight in that, you know, like I think it's really just they're hoping on loyalty of their name and how they've built their brand, and people will just stick with PlayStation because of it. I have my trophies on PlayStation. I have my library on PlayStation. Why would I switch over to Steam?
I think the only thing with the Steam is because obviously RAM prices have gone up, so that's the only thing that's probably gonna like
Right. That's why
do some damage to the Steam. But I would still say that the price range is still looking pretty good for it, to be fair. So
it depends. You know, we really got to see some numbers. It's kind of funny because they said it would be out in spring 2026.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening. So we should at least get some more information in the spring, though, I would think.
Yeah.
I saw another game trailer that looks kind of cool. It's a job simulator game, but it's called Gate Guard Simulator. It's like a medieval castle, and you are the guard at the gate. And like, you know, you see these VR games where it's like you're the bouncer and stuff. It kind of looks like that, but you're like the guard for a gate. You know, you choose to let people in or not. It looks kind of fun. But like out of all the job simulator games, I think this one kind of cool if you're, you know, a fantasy lover. Like just a small little, yeah, I get to, you know, like pretend I'm a guard for a little bit. Like something small, something nonchalant in a way.
Yeah.
Right? And my last piece, I believe, is the I'm not sure who they are, what this stands for. The USPTO has rejected Nintendo trying to get their patent to own the idea of summoning monsters and having them fight. People were really upset when this first started and they tried to put this patent out, and it's like, you can't own that. You know what I mean? Like that's what Yu-Gi-Oh does. That's what all these things do. Like you can't just own it, Nintendo. You know, like I don't know. I'm so glad that happened.
I'm glad. I mean, as much as I love Nintendo as a company and stuff, like I can still see. I'm not blind to the BS that they do. Especially with things
they're
like
one of
our
the
world and things like that.
Companies.
They can be so they can be really greedy. It's like, you know what it is? It's like they're the Disney of the gaming world, but because like certain games can get by and whatnot, everybody just runs to it and be like, oh yeah, you know, we can look past certain things and that. But you can't look past certain things, like, you know, trying to do what they did with Power World. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, like if you're not making a good Pokemon game for people to play, then what do you think people are going to do? Independent gamers are going to come and say, yeah, we're going to make this game. It's going to be similar, but it will still have its differences. You know what I mean? So And Power World's still thriving now. So it's like,
and they're still the lawsuit is still ongoing with Power World. We don't know what's going to
It's just kind
happen.
of silly to me. I'm just like, Nintendo, let it be. Like, I think every game category has a similar factor. So why can't other games be similar to Pokemon? Like, just come on.
You can't own ideas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not how it works. It's like saying I invented French fries, so I deserve all the profits off every French fry. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not the way the world works. And Nintendo thinks they can have everything they want and have their cake too, right? But I just love seeing that Power World is still putting up this fight and still giving Nintendo a hard time. Fuck them. I'm not a Nintendo person, and I really don't like what they're doing. The Switch 2 is like just
I literally don't care. Yeah, except for one game.
Too expensive. Mario Kart comes out, it's not that good.
Right.
It's not nearly as good as the last Mario Kart.
What's it called? The demo for it recently dropped. The Tamagotchi World. That again, that's the only game that would really interest me to get a Switch 2. But even then, I don't really. It won't last long to me personally.
Sure, and I feel like that's where they're leaning into is like Pokopia, Tamagotchi, like that kind of like. They're still doing games, but I feel like so many of their actual like platformers, stuff like this, a lot of them disappoint compared to what we used to get back in the day.
And I mean, I used to be really into Splatoon. Like that was my big Nintendo thing. Like that was the reason why I got a Switch in the first place. I mean, I had the Wii U for the first game, but then I got the Switch for the second and third game, and I played those, I completed those, and now I'm just like, I don't touch it anymore. I haven't touched it in like months. So I'm like, why would I get a Switch 2 to also not touch again, you know?
Right. I think, you know, like Mario is a gem of theirs. Zelda is a gem of theirs.
Yeah.
They're old to care about those. But these other characters, a lot of times they fall down to the side. Like, I haven't heard that great of things about Metroid Prime 4. You know, that came out.
Yeah, I've not heard good things about that either. I'm a big Metroid guy myself. I heard it was open world. And I'm just thinking, like, does it have to be open world? Because, I mean, Metroid has always been kind of linear. It's just things like that. I'm thinking, okay, fair enough. I understand Mario Odyssey was like that. But even with a game like Donkey Kong Bonanza, I'm thinking, does that Donkey Kong have to be that?
And another thing,
that's what Mario always was. I think Bonanza is the only good example of their new games. Besides if you're like a Pokopia person or something, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
I also just feel like when it comes to the Switch 2, every time somebody, if you're not really into Nintendo exactly, besides maybe a few games, you're like, well, you can play all these other games. Isn't it so impressive that these big games that are typically on like PC or other consoles are now on the little Switch? It's like, I guess,
but also play it again.
Right, but also my thing is like, well, why would I want to play a game on the Switch that I can also just easily again play on a PC or my PlayStation or Xbox instead of the Switch?
If you buy it on Steam and play it on your PC, guess what? If you have a Steam Deck, you can just download it onto that. And sure, like, and not Nintendo games, but guess what? You can emulate Nintendo games. You know what I mean? Like, and not pay for them. Like Steam, I think
Nintendo would be doing so much better if they just didn't have such as a tight grip that they do when it comes to their.
It's gamers. Why are you treating them like that? You know.
I'm trying to think what else about Nintendo. I don't know, like again, like you said earlier, it's like Legend of Zelda will always be a hit for them. Mario, but then
I don't even like the new Zelda games, to be honest. I don't like the way they're being done. I don't know. I don't like the new style.
You don't like the format. I get that.
I understand. Because even me, like I got Breath of the Wild a couple years ago, and I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that it needs to go back to the linear style. Like I don't, because I feel like even before Ocarina of Time, it was somewhat open world, but not to the extent of like how they've done it. Like, it's
this huge thing, and you could do anything. You know, it really it had open world.
Hyrule was never that big. You know what I mean?
You could go to different areas and explore them and fight enemies, but it really was, you know, like you're supposed to go here, you're supposed to go here. You know what I mean? Like you knew what you had to do for your mission.
You know, they
knew
made
what
the weapons too realistic as well, and I'm just thinking they don't need to do all of that. It's
right,
so
and they
nice,
break
you
and
know?
everything, and it's like I worked so hard for this really cool weapon, and I feel like I can't use it because it's gonna break. You know what I mean? Like I don't always love that, especially in a Zelda game.
Like I'm definitely gonna try and finish it, but it's been one of those tough ones for me. I know this game's really good, but I just think did they have to go away from the original format for it to be like this?
I feel like doesn't even the Master Sword break in the first game, and people are like pissed about that.
I can't remember. I think it might sound like it might be true, but
Yeah, because I don't think they want anyone to like just rush to the Master Sword so they don't ever have to work on another weapon. You know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not the biggest Nintendo guy. Retro, I can just invite you to the Legion's Discord. It's all good, dude. What? Oh, Chris, you got HBO Max? Yeah.
Oh wait, HBO Max. Oh yeah, because I got it's out in the UK and I haven't got that yet. Not yet.
Oh yeah. Well, you could if you want.
Yeah,
if you want to pay like the rest of us.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it for today's episode.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. Next week we got more Daredevil, Invincible, and finally
The boys.
But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to talk about the boys on the next episode because unless it comes out early in the day, like because it's coming out next Wednesday. I don't know if it'll be like, oh, it releases at midnight or 3 a.m. or something, or we have to wait until 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know. So we'll see. And depending on that, if it comes out early, I will be watching it before the show, believe me. So I am chomping at the bit to see what this final season of The Boys is like. Yeah, I want it. And I just want to see what ends up on top.
Right.
Daredevil, Invincible, or The Boys, you know, like
the big three superheroes now for TV.
It's so cool too to just get The Boys, Invincible at the same time, like the brutal superhero shows.
Right, both on Amazon. You can just switch them over real quick.
I love that. So it's interesting. The Boys is coming out on Wednesday because now we're getting Invincible and The Boys on Wednesdays. So from the same streaming service, which is a bit odd. But I already saw when I went to watch Invincible this morning. Literally #1 on Amazon, and it only just came out a few like 10 hours ago.
People are watching it.
Oh, people are, and I already heard people really like this episode. I mean, I ranted about it. I think it's great. Talking on Discord after this, I don't know. Yeah,
maybe later.
Right,
not right away though.
I kind of have to go to work, to be honest. So yeah, this was kind of a long episode. We're trying to cut them down to 2 hours. We need to work on that better. This one hit 3, so it's all right. But we're trying to bring them down. We don't want them to be too long, you know. And it's like sometimes we just get into subjects so intensely that they last a long time. Especially Marvel. Marvel has had a,
had a tight grip.
Right, we've been stuck. We get stuck on Marvel for like the first hour and a half of the show, and that's got to come down. So we're gonna work on that. But thank you all for watching and. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I don't have the graphic ready. Here we go.
That's a Game Boy production.